At Coletco for tonight's. Are they sold?
Yes.
Tonight's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. Let me go figure out what I've done with my cellular device. I think it's right over here. And pause the music, Tanner said. Let's do that. When you've found us, you're in the right place. You have entered Coletco Live. Alrighty. Here we go. Let me get all this shared in all the proper outlets. There's my hand. There's Thin Lizzy if anybody wants it. Jailbreak, $36.99. We have them. We've got them. Yes. The nicest one you can find. Probably listen to it tonight. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to listen to tonight, and I still hadn't got to listen to it yet. Jacob Smith says, I'd like a Thin Lizzy. Boom, first sale of the night, Jacob Smith. Thin Lizzy. Is that a sale, Jacob? That is $36.99. $36.99. Let me get this shared. All right, I'm sharing right now in the group. Let's see, whole lot of records. Nashville, Whiskey and Vinyl. That's the three groups I sell. If there's anybody else know of a group I can share this in every night, please let me know and I'll add it to my list. I share it in three groups. There's a couple other groups, but I don't know if they want me to share it in there or not, so I don't. But the other two really hadn't said anything yet, so that's shared. I really didn't make any kind of hot post or ad for tonight. I think y'all just know to tune in. Jacob said yes. If anybody else wants a Thin Lizzy, I now have one left, $36.99. Now, let me just get the YouTube link shared on our Instagram. But yeah, I really didn't do a lot. Let me step away from the monitor right quick and try to figure out what some of this vintage stuff is going to be sold. All right. Is this from oh, that's another Return of the Living Dead. Let's see what John's got us for tonight. Looks like cool vintage records. We're going to go through them. We're going to be auctioning off Japanese at reduced cost again. And Brad Moore says, how much is YouTube Pop? $38.99. YouTube Pop is $38.99, Brad. You need one. You can be the second sale of the night. Let me delete last night's story. And let me figure out what I can use for a picture. Story, let's see here. I'll use my metal logo. Here we go. Live now. All right, well, a week ago we were doing punk and metal night, and we're going to do that again next Friday. So, you know, there's kind of a rotation for us doing punk and metal night. We have to it takes a while to get it up and running and get everything priced. And after that, we have to actually promote it and get it advertised. Okay, so I'm just getting back to my monitor. Brad, let's see. Somebody just said they wanted this. Who just said they wanted this? Richard Allen? Who just said they wanted this? Brad asked about it, and then someone said they would take it. So let me figure out what happened. And then let's see. So yeah, I've missed some comments because I just got my chat pulled up. I think Richard Allen wants this. Brad, also let me know if you want one. I think I've at least got one or more too. So there we go. All right, I don't know what's in this crate. Let's go through it and find out. I think it was some stuff from last night, but we'll go through it right quick. We have Silverchair. This is Silverchair Live, limited to 3,000. This was actually released in the UK as Record Store Day. That's on colored vinyl. They're doing all their biggest hits. That's $39.99. I've got 2 copies of the Lost Boys soundtrack. That's on blue vinyl from Friday Music. The Lost Boys soundtrack is $44.99. I have an entire crate of Japanese vinyl up here, and I want to empty it before the night's over with, which means we're going to be reducing some prices. And let me figure out what I've done with that. There's some new stuff in here I hadn't put up, but there's also some stuff that I don't think we've shown before. So let me actually go ahead and run those right now. We have Commodore's Natural High and Pat Benatar 7 The Hard Way. I don't think I've put either one of these up yet. Those are $20 starts. They're near mint pristine with inserts. Those are $20 starts. $20 starts. Commodores and Pat Benatar. Lost Boys, Silverchair, Hall & Oates' Greatest Hits, Sarah Smile, She's Gone, Rich Girl, Kiss on My List. All those great songs they had. Remastered. It looks like the exact pressing that came out in 1984. It even has the calendar with it. That is $28.99. Talking Heads, this isn't unofficial, but it's only $24.99. It's a live Talking Heads show. That is $24.99. I've got 2 copies of Nirvana Nevermind. I hope everybody has this. I mean, I keep them in stock for the store, but we usually end up selling 1 or 2 here a week at least on Facebook Live. To somebody. Smashing Pumpkins Gish. I was out. Now they're back in. I'm probably going to order a bunch more just so we don't run out of Smashing Pumpkins albums. James Bragg wants a Hall & Oates Greatest Hits. If anybody else wants one of those, let me know. I'll put you on a waiting list. I have Train, Drops of Jupiter. This came out about 2 years ago as a 20th anniversary edition on colored vinyl. They're still available. $28.99. That's my last copy. We sold a couple last night. Slipknot Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, that's $36.99. That's on purple vinyl, 2 LP that has some of their, I guess what I'd call hits on it. I don't know a lot about Slipknot, but I know enough of their songs that I like, and most of them is on that album. James Bragg gets Train, Drops of Jupiter, and Scott Westskittle Gish is $39.99. It's a gatefold single LP, hop sticker, awesome jacket. All these Smashing Pumpkins albums, really cool covers with the foiling. All right, we had some bids on the Commodores. James C. Jones is at $25. That's going once, going twice. And I still got Miss Benatar. Pat Benatar is up for auction as well. $20 start on that. Like I said, I have an entire packed crate of Japanese vinyl I would like to sell. How much for Exodus, Overkill, and Thin Lizzy? Last night we had Exodus. Let me go ahead and show that right now because we showed it kind of late, and I'm surprised we have any left. One of my distributors don't even carry this. It's a 100% official record, but one of my distributors don't even carry this, and it's who I order the most from. I saw these in stock about 2 weeks ago. I back ordered a bunch. This is Exodus Bonded by Blood. This one's $33.99. Jailbreak is $36.99. And then last night we sold out of an Overkill title called The Electric Age. I ordered more of those. I can't remember. They were it was like 30 something. I can't remember. But Exodus is $33.99. That's Bonded by Blood. By the way, there was a waiting list for that. But if you know for sure you don't already have one, and we'll double check if anybody wants to go ahead and claim again before we tag you. Okay, Pat Benatar 20. Commodores 27. Commodores 28. Pat Benatar 20 again. John Sheehan wants an Exodus. If anybody else, let me know. Yeah, and then Overkill was, I think, $29.99. That was the Electric Age. If anybody else wants an Exodus, let me know. I'm going to put a couple in this crate just so we have them kind of spread out, and I can go over those again. All right, the Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan, $36.99. I should have 1 or 2 of those left. $36.99 for the Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan. Precious Memories Collection, Alan Jackson. That is $29.99. Put me on for an Overkill. Put David Walker down for Overkill, the Electric Age waiting list. I ordered 10 more last night, and I think we got 6 people on the waiting list, so I'll have a few extras when those come in. The Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. I think y'all have seen when we've auctioned original copies of this how hard it is to get. I always keep it in stock because everybody wants it. It's not too easy to acquire an original in decent condition, plus they're not cheap. This is a craft recording. I own one of these myself. We got one in one time used, and I kept it. I do have an original. I picked it up years and years ago, and I never did sell it. It's not the best condition, but at least I say I can have one. I'd probably listen to this one, and the OGs is something I look at and hold and be like, I have it. But I like the way this one sounds. That's sold to James Bragg. Time of the Season's on there. Pat Benatar is at 30, and the Commodores is at 35. Let's see. Silverchair. Freak Show. Silverchair is limited of 5,000. That's on colored vinyl, yellow and blue. Includes a poster. That is $49.99. Ryan says put them down for a Van Halen OG balance. I will notify you the next time we get one in. At this rate, we're getting one in a year. So I'll contact you in a spring of 2024. We got one about a year ago last spring. So we're averaging one of those a year. That's how hard they are to get. And y'all know how many hundreds of thousands of records we buy. So they're rare. Blues Traveler. So there's a debate on what really is a rare record and what is a scarce or what is like a one-of-a-kind record. Of course, you know, there's some blues 78s out there where there's like only one known copy. That is truly a rare record. Van Halen Balance, it's definitely rare in my book. Some people's like, that's not a rare record. And I'm like, well, good luck, you know, acquiring one in the wild or even seeing one for sale in a record store. They're out there, but you're not going to see them every day. It's not like James Taylor or John Denver records. You're not going to find them every day. The Cult Sonic Temple, $39.99. 30th anniversary. The Cult Sonic Temple, $39.99. Brent Rabley on Stevie Ray Vaughan. The Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan. Pat Benatar's at 34. And where was we at on the Commodores? James C. Jones is at 35. So 35 on the Commodores and 34 on Pat Benatar. Blues Traveler is $49.99. I've got 2 or 3 of those left. $49.99. Belinda and Jason Dobb wants a Sonic Temple. So does James Bragg. Shane Salis is out on Pat Benatar. I've got one, Aretha Franklin's Greatest Hits. We had an original of this the other night, or last night. I don't think we sold it, but I like this one. This is like, I have this one in my collection. It's her hits, the ones I like Chain of Fools and Respect, and I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. Know all of her classic soul Aretha Franklin hits. That is $31.99. Bren's out on Commodore, so I'm doing a final call on these 2 auctions. Silverchair, $49.99. Music on vinyl, not 1,000, 10,000 made on clear vinyl. They have about 2 or 3 different pressings of this. That so far has been our best seller, $49.99. John Coltrane, Blue Train. Once again, true original pressings of this. Oh my gosh. I don't know how hard it is to find one, but I don't get too many. I'm talking about true mono pressings. Tough to get. Judas Priest Turbo, $28.99. And Five Finger Death Punch, $36.99. Five Finger Death Punch. That's a new Greatest Hits Volume 1 on Crimson Red Vinyl, $36.99. $36.99. All right, I'm going to end these 2 auctions. Pat Benatar is sold to Paul Brothers for $34. And the Commodores is sold to James C. Jones for $35. Let me put up 2 new ones. I'm just going to pull stuff out of the back of the crate, and we're going to auction it until it's all sold. Next 2 are Beach Boys Endless Summer, $20 start. This is a Beach Boys compilation. It is near mint pristine. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It has the Japanese insert with it. And down here at the bottom, let me figure out where that is. It has 1 obi tear. Boy, Seth must have looked at this once again at a microscope. Is that what he put on this? Obi rip on the back. Oh, right here. Wow. Yeah. That right there. So that's a $20 start. That is the Beach Boys Endless Summer. That is a Japanese compilation. And then Dead or Alive. I'm also going to start this one for $20. Dead or Alive. This one is 100% near mint. Cover, vinyl, everything. There's the LP. This one also comes with a book. A lyric book. There's an insert, and the cover's in shrink wrap of Obi. It also has this hop sticker on it. UK Now 86 video concert. That is a $20 start for Dead or Alive and the Beach Boys. Let's see here. Next comment was Jeff Capri, Coltrane. Coltrane is $33.99, Jeff. And Floyd Furman wants on the waiting list for Electric Age. Do you have Blues Traveler 4? No, that one's out of print. We had that original, repress a few weeks ago we auctioned. That's not too easy to get. All right, so here is a recap of that being Silverchair Live, $39.99. We've got a few of those in stock. The Lost Boys soundtrack, $44.99. Talking Heads is $24.99. Nirvana is $36.99. Do you have any more copies of Siamese Dream? Yes, Siamese Dream is $99.99. We have those in stock. Gish is $39.99. Exodus, Bonded by Blood, $33.99 for Exodus. Slipknot is $36.99. Alan Jackson, $29.99. The Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, $31.99. Silverchair, $49.99. Blues Traveler, The Cult, Aretha Franklin's Greatest Hits, Silverchair Frog Stomp, Blue Train, John Coltrane, Judas Priest Turbo, and Five Finger Death Punch. Those are all still available. Now, that was just a recap from some stuff that came in last night. Did I miss something? Jacob Smith wanted a Colt. I missed that. Jacob Smith, you get a Colt. Sorry, let me make sure. Let me find that comment, make sure I didn't miss anything else. Oh, no, I must have not seen it. Okay, I see that now. Jacob, I got you down for a Colt. Now, I have a new box of vinyl that we just unboxed tonight. Let's see, Frontiers label. What would some of those titles be? So, Dead or Alive, we got bids on both auctions. Ron Phillips is at 25 on the Beach Boys, Endless Summer. That's going twice, going 3 times. I'm going to move through some of these pretty fast, so if you want to bid, now's the time. And Gary Samuels is at 25 on Dead or Alive. So those are going twice, going 3 times. Jeff Capri, Coltrane is $33.99. Morgan Wallen's new album is not out on vinyl because that's such a big album. I think they've decided to wait on that because that's probably going to be like a box set or something. That's probably going to have to be 4 or 5 LPs to get all that on vinyl. That album did come out today. There was a CD that was at the top of the charts almost for one of my distributors' website sales. And, of course, it's available for streaming midnight today. But it's not on vinyl. It's not on vinyl yet. I'm sure it will be, but that's going to be, that's probably that's a lot for them to have to mix and master. Tanner, Siamese Dream are in those blue crates right over there. Dakota wants one, and I'll go ahead and pull one, see if anybody else wants one. Okay, final call on these 2 auctions. So, Rush Power Windows. This is new and sealed. This one's also pressed to QRP from what I understand. At least the one I had a QRP in her sleeve. This is $36.99. $36.99 for Rush Power Windows. This one sounds amazing. That's about all I can say about it. $36.99. If you don't already have a copy of Rush Power Windows, I think we got this shipment and we got like another 30 on the way to us. I ordered like 150 of those, so we've got a bunch of them. Coltrane is new and sealed. Ron Phillips, $33.99, and Aretha Franklin's was $31.99. Jedit, $31.99. Okay, let's see here. Now, these are all available for sale. Days of the New, first time ever on vinyl. It took me a while to get the restock, but I knew they were coming because it wasn't a limited edition. But this is Days of the New, $44.99. If you don't already have one of these with us, I have one after I've pulled mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 available. Now, we had a waiting list. We pulled some the other night live, but these are all tagged and ready for sale. You can buy one right now. And I've even got more on the way. So even if you get on a waiting list tonight, I know for sure I've got some locked in. They're coming. This is Days of the New. Brent Rabley, Jason Kenton, Matt Ketron, and Mike Massey. I've got 3 left. I look forward to listening to mine finally tonight. Those are all sold. I've got 3 left. Let's go ahead and end these auctions. The Beach Boys is sold to Ron Phillips. We're going to be running through some Japanese Obies tonight. That is sold for $25, and Dead or Alive is sold to Gary Samuels for $25. Let me make sure that was Gary Samuels. Yeah, Gary Samuels, 25 on that. Brent says he'll take one if he don't have one. Brent, I think I've already got you down for 2, honestly. I think I've already got you down for 2 of them. So I'll have to double check on that. Okay, next 2 auctions. More $20 starts. We have Pat Benatar Tropico. That's a $20 start. Near Mint and Pristine. Near Mint and Pristine on that one. Vinyl cover. And Air Supply. This is Air Supply, the one that you love. Air Supply was also a $20 start. Put Robert Johnson down for Days of the New. Just give him Brent Rabley's because I'm pretty sure, Brent, you're already down for 2. I got to go through that post. I replied to a bunch of people that was from like 6 months ago when I initially, and some people's like, I'll pass, I've already got it. Some people's like, yes, actually give me 2 of them. So it's where I still had enough for everybody. But I think it looks like I've got 3 left and more on the way. Okay, the Cramps, Look Mom No Head, $33.99, restock of that. I've got 2 of those available. and Iron Maiden Live After Death. Once again, the restock of the US version. These are new and sealed. This is the US version, which is a lot cheaper than the UK's we had. This is a 2LP, and I've always been impressed with this packaging. It even has the original tour book that came like with the OG. That is $46.99. Did Paul Brothers get down on that wait list last night? Let's see. Oh, I got it right here. Tanner's already printed that out. Yeah, so Charlie Burnett. This is from 2 nights ago, I'm pretty sure. Charlie Burnett, Boontar Jones, Chris DeMoss, Gary Samuels, Gwen Carley, Jerry Stone, Paul Brothers, Randy Davis, Cameron Nance, Joseph Felicite, James Cohorn, Vernon Lehman, and Day Mars. So, Paul, I don't really know. You wasn't on that list. Let me make sure. I'll go ahead and set one aside, and we'll probably have to double check that for you. So set that one over for Paul. Jacob Smith wants an Iron Maiden, and the Cramps was $33.99. No bids yet on Air Supply and Pat Benatar. If there isn't a bid, I'll end those and move on to the next ones. Dixie Chicks Fly, $38.99 for Dixie Chicks Fly. There was a waiting list for this. 2 people, I think. Yep, Chris Kirkley and Jerry Stone. Those came in, and they will be on this week's invoice. Chris Kirkley and Jerry Stone at Dixie Chicks Fly, and I have 3 of those available. These were out of print. Their Wide Open Spaces album has got quite difficult to get. I've got all those back ordered. I hope that they're on the way. Did you already tag Dakotas? Okay. Dakota, we got you a Siamese Dream pulled. If anybody else wants one, $99.99. Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins. Well, after those are gone, it might be another 6 or 8 months before we get another batch in. Boston, self-titled. This is $29.99. I think we had one person from the group on the waiting list. No, we've already got that one pulled. Steve Botsford. I've already got your Boston pulled. This is $29.99 if anybody else wants one. I've got 4 available, it looks like. Boston self-titled. Cramps was $33.99. Days of the New was $44.99. Carole King, live at the BBC, $29.99. And the Johnny Burnett Rock and Roll Trio. Those are also $29.99. All right, $20 buy it nows on these 2 Japanese auctions. If anybody wants Air Supply or Pat Benatar, $20. You can claim them now in the comments. You can claim those now in the comments. So I'm going to put this over here so I don't get my table too cluttered too quickly tonight. Let me lay that there. I'm going to put the Exoduses in here. I got a lot more new vinyl to go through, but first we're going to run through a crate of new vintage. Boston is on black vinyl, yes. Shane wants Pat Benatar for $20. Who wants Air Supply? That's the only one so far that has not sold. Let me put up this crate of new vintage stuff. If you haven't already, I haven't told everybody to share yet, so let me take about 60 seconds to explain how much it means to us if you share our feed. If you share our feed, I will greatly appreciate it. You can do that by hitting the share button, share it to your feed, share it to Messenger, maybe send it to a couple friends. If you're kind of new and you just found us and you think you might know somebody who might be interested, they might hop on and buy a record tonight. And if they do, that means we might have found a customer who will buy from us the rest of the year. And that means a lot to us. So we can find a couple new customers a show. That's usually fantastic. And if you're on YouTube watching, there's a thumbs up button. That means you like the video, and that means because you like it, they might show it to other people who like records like you like records. Air Supply is sold to Paul Brothers for $20, and let's pull Zachary Smith a Dixie Chicks Fly. I have 2 of those left. By the way, there really is no OG Dixie Chicks albums based on the era when they came out. Their music is pretty much non-existent on vinyl, so you have to go with these pressings. Next, Japanese auctions. Let's continue. I can't do this one for a $20 start, but I'll do it for $25. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. $25 start. Near mint pristine Japanese vinyl. We have no condition notes on this one. There's the Japanese insert. John Williams doing the score music. Very cool. Really nice cover in Obi too. That's a $25 start. But I will start the Beach Boys Light album, the LA album. This one's near mint and pristine with the insert and inner sleeve. That's a $20 start. So Beach Boys and Close Encounters, $25 and $20 starts. Those are now up for auction. New vintage arrivals. I have not got to look at these. I did a quick flip just a second ago. That's all I've seen. Buffalo Springfield, $39.99. 2LP. I can tell you this for sure. That's a beautiful looking copy. Buffalo Springfield, $39.99. I think that's just self-titled. It's a 2LP. Brandon Jackson. Let me get the camera moved up a little bit so you can see our auctions and our crate. There you go. So these are up for auction. And what we're selling in the crate is a buy it now. So you can comment as fast as you see it. Donovan's Greatest Hits, sealed. Wow, just $19.99. Sealed Donovan's Greatest Hits, $19.99 for that. Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life, $19.99 for Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life. John Prine, The Best of John Prine. This is very nice copy, $44.99, The Best of John Prine. Had one of those last night, I think. We may have sold it. Average White Band, Cut the Cake, $14.99, has a promotional DJ copy sticker on the front. Sir Douglas Quintet, Mendocino, is $39.99. Sir Douglas Quintet, Mendocino. Giant for a Day, Gentle Giant, $19.99 on Capitol Records. I think you could cut that face out and make it a mask. Luckily, nobody did that, though. Who do we have here? Julie Cruz, is that what that says? $9.99. This is Julie Cruz, Rockin' Back Inside My Heart. And that's looks like a maxi single, $9.99. Ryan Foster, First a Gentle Giant. Final call on Close Encounters for $25, and I'm looking for a $20 start on the Beach Boys. Chad Regola on Julie, and Austin Cokel on GG and Gentle Giant. That's already sold. Austin, you were second to Gentle Giant. Leo Kottke, The Best. Never seen that one. $20, $19.99. Leo Kottke, The Best. Interesting. This is RJD2, Since We Last Spoke, from 2004, $34.99. It looked like a psych record from the 60s, but it's from 2004. Hoodoo Man Blues, Junior Wells, Chicago Blues Band. That is $24.99. Lou Reed, The Bells. Lou Reed, The Bells is $34.99. And we have Credit in Heaven, The Suburbs, from 1981, $74.99. Credit in Heaven, The Suburbs, 1981, $74.99. Okay, Brandon Jackson's back in on Close Encounters for $27. Michael Nath first on the Leo Kottke, and Michael Nath first to Junior Wells. Brent was second, Pam was third, and Brad Moore was fourth. Antonio Carlos Jobim tied, $34.99, A&M Records. I don't think I've seen that one before. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna, original inner sleeve, very nice vinyl, $19.99 for Stevie Nicks. Robert Palmer, Riptide, that's $19.99. And Chicago Transit Authority, this is their first album, nice copy, $19.99. That is on the repress label. Nice copy though, $19.99. I don't think this was ever on 2i from what I understand. Okay, Beach Boys is a $20 buy it now. Who wants it? $20 buy it now on the Beach Boys LA Light album. That's available if anybody wants it. Michelle Phillips first to Stevie Nicks. And Close Encounters. Let's do a final call on that. Who else was bidding? Arthur Maldonado, please let me know if you're in or out on Close Encounters. If not, never mind, he's in. He's at $28. Let me put up another auction, though. We've got, let me put a couple with these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have any more? Okay, we're going to do a Hall & Oates bundle. Let's do a Hall & Oates bundle. Let's see, we got 2 Mint and Pristine, we got 1 EX, and then we have a 12-inch single. Possession, Obsession, H2O, Private Eyes, and then Bigger Than Both of Us. Of course, those are studio albums, and then we had a 12-inch single. All four of these Hall & Oates albums will do, let's see here, $35 start. 4 Hall & Oates Japanese pressings. These 2 are near mint Pristine. That one's EX, pretty close to near mint. And then, of course, that one is near mint. It's a 12-inch single, though. $35 start for all 4 of those. Close Encounters is at $30. The Beach Boys is the LA album, the Light album. Japanese pressing, near mint with inserts. That's a $20 start. Okay. No takers on Chicago. That's sometimes surprising when I don't see that one sell. Olivia Newton-John, $9.99. If you love me now, let me know. Sheena Easton, A Private Heaven. Sheena Easton is $9.99. Lou Reed, New Sensations. In shrink wrap, $34.99 for Lou Reed. New Sensations. That looks near mint. Brent Hall was in first on Hall & Oates. ABBA, Super Trooper. ABBA is $19.99. Arthur, you're back out on Close Encounters. ABBA's $19.99. Randy Newman, $19.99. That's in shrink wrap. And Bombino Nomad from 2013, U.S. pressing, $119.99. Bombino, $119.99. Return of the Living Dead, $99.99. We had one in shrink wrap last night. This one is not in shrink wrap. Still very nice. $99.99. Hall & Oates, $37.37, 40 and 40. And Q and Not You, Different Damage, $29.99. Sunflower Bean, Human Ceremony, limited edition Coke Clear Vinyl. That is sealed from 2016, $19.99. Fat Possum, Not the Same Old Blues Crap, 2015 yellow vinyl, $19.99. And what do we have here? This is Unconscious Collective. Unconscious Collective, $39.99, 2012 clear vinyl. All right, so we can go ahead and sell Close Encounters. That's sold to Brandon Jackson for $30. And then we had Hall & Oates. We had Hall & Oates at $35, $35, $37, $40, $40, $41. And so high bid is Brent Hall at $41. Yeah, that's $41 with Brent Hall. And then first the Fat Possum was Robert Johnson, Brent Rabley second, Pam Dickens third, James Cohorn fourth, and Craig says Q. That might be a miscue for Craig's Q, unless there's something in here that starts with Q that I... Oh, right here, Q and Not You, maybe? Craig, do you want that? $29.99? That may be what Craig's want. I'll go ahead and lay it over there. Hall & Oates is at $42. Brent, you're back out. The Dixie Chicks is $38.99. I have two left. I said Q and Not You first. Oh, okay. Q, I see that. Q and Not. I thought that was some kind of miscue. Spelt differently. Brent Hall was first of this. Brent Hall was first of this. Yes. Sorry about that. I'm getting my Q's mixed up. Roger Daltrey. This is going to be a $20 start. I don't recall seeing too many of these. Parting should be painless. Roger Daltrey. That is $20 start. Roger Daltrey, Parting should be painless. Near mint Japanese pressing. That is a $20 start. It also includes an insert. $20 start on Roger Daltrey. Okay, so Hall & Oates is at 42. Brent Hall, you're out on that. I thought I had Fat Possum. Fat Possum went to Robert Johnson. Brent was second. Pam was third. James C. Jones, you were fourth. Brent's out on Hall & Oates. Final call on that lot of 4 Hall & Oates LPs, $42. Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal, $34.99. That's a good one. Well, I don't like the name of this album. I'm just going to show it. She's Both. This is $19.99. Looks like that's a weird looking record. $19.99. Leonard Cohen, Songs from a Room. This is a Holland press. Leonard Cohen, $24.99. Leonard Cohen, Songs from a Room. That is $24.99. And Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Heart, $34.99. Eagles, The Long Run. The Eagles, The Long Run is $19.99. And Lou Reed, Growing Up in Public, $34.99. Okay, Shane is in on the Hall & Oates at 45, so that means James McGowan, you're back out. Jerry Stone wants the Chicago Transit Authority. That's sold to Jerry Stone. Roger Ramjet on Lou Reed. Roger, let me know which one for sure. He says Rock and Roll Animal. That's sold to Roger Ramjet. Next is Aaron Jolly on, that was Fat Possum. That makes you number 6 on that one. And Harry Morris on HET. Let me know what exactly that may be. James McGowan's back in on Hall & Oates at 46. John, what's that? I did not, no. John Carpenter's Escape from New York, $74.99. John Carpenter's Escape from New York soundtrack has some retail sticker residue. Music composed by John Carpenter. That is $74.99. La Ultra, Music of a Sinking Occasion, 2000 white vinyl, $19.99. More cryptic writing. Blitzen Trapper Tur, $34.99. Is that what that says? Blitzen Trapper Fur, $34.99. Maggie's Last Party, VIM, $24.99 from 1991. Fedora. Let me look at the label on that one. I know it's Tangerine Dream and Phaedra, maybe. Tangerine Dream, $29.99. This is a picture of a dog. This is Shaggy Dog, a 1959 mono Disneyland record. I've never seen Shaggy Dog before from the Disney collection. That is $29.99, 1959 mono. The Big Easy soundtrack, $19.99. And the La Bamba soundtrack. We saw one of those last night, I believe, $19.99. Hall & Oates is at $46. Shane says he's out. So James McGowan has those for $46. Final call. Ryan Anderson wants the Tangerine Dream. That's sold to Ryan Anderson. And the Yes album. The Yes album, $19.99. I've spent a lot of time listening to that. $19.99. Robert Johnson first on Big Easy. That's sold to Robert Johnson. Brian Hummel on La Bamba. Dan Ward wants a Dixie Chicks. That's over here in our new vinyl. Let me pull that for Dan Ward. There's a Dixie Chicks, and Ryan Foster wants a Yes. Dan Ward, has Dan bought from us before? Dan, if you're a first-time buyer, or if there is any first-time buyers, first let me show the last record in this crate. This is the Eagles' Greatest Hits. I hadn't seen an OG copy of this in a little bit. We usually have them every night, it seemed like there for a while. That's a near mint copy, $34.99. Near mint vintage copy of that. Let me go ahead and sell Hall & Oates first. These are sold to James McGowan for $46. That's all four of them. And if anybody wants Roger Daltrey, I've got two Japanese buy it nows, Roger Daltrey and the Beach Boys. Those are $20 buy it nows. $20 buy it nows. And Dennis Nelson takes the Eagles. Dennis Nelson takes the Eagles. Okay, so if you're a first-time buyer, thank you, welcome. Make sure you message our page. That's CollectCo. Send us a message with your email address and your mailing address. We're having a show tonight, and we're having a show tomorrow night. Tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight and tomorrow night, we are having live record sales. We do $7 unlimited shipping for the entire week. So all week, you can buy for $7. Then there's a cutoff point. When we stop selling on Saturday night, the combined shipping has ended, and then we rebill on Monday. So if you don't pay your invoice that comes out on Monday and then you buy one more record the next week, we do not combine those. It's $7 per week. And I promise you, that's a great deal if you're buying a lot of records. Right over here is a big stack of mail that looks like they packed up today. Those mailers you see, those cost us about $2 a piece just for the mailers, not including the cardboard, the labels, the tape, and then, of course, the very costly postage. So $7 if you're buying multiple records from us is a great deal. All right, Paul Brothers on Shaggy Dog. That's sold to Paul Brothers. Eric Self, that was a Disney record from 1959, and Paul had just claimed it. That is sold to Paul Brothers, and it looks like Derek Hartman was third. The mailers come from a company called Whiplash. Those come from a company called Whiplash. Next, two Japanese pressings. We're going to continue with the $20 and $25 starts. First is Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston is a $25 start. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. Has the Japanese insert with it, and the cover is not bad at all. Has a very nice obi. Just a little bit of, not even foxing, discoloration up here and along the back. That is a $25 start for Whitney Houston. And then we'll do Staying Alive, including the Bee Gees hit The Woman in You. That is going to be a $20 start. So two new Japanese auctions, Whitney Houston and the Bee Gees, or we'll call it Staying Alive soundtrack. Those are $20 and Whitney Houston's $25. Those are up for bid. Gatefold pressing, those are up for bid. All right, I'm just going to keep rolling with new vintage stuff. We'll probably have time to go back through all these a second time. I'd like to just keep new stuff going, or at least keeping you reminded of new, fresh, new vinyl we got in last night. So let me go ahead and go through this crate right here. I think we went through this one really late. Jetted is at 25 on Whitney Houston. We use Whiplash, and sometimes we have to put them in like a box. And, you know, when people have huge orders, and we use our distributors' boxes for that, which they use very good packing material. All right, one more time. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. If you don't have all those, if you don't have one of those yet, I've still got several, but that's a big seller. Those won't be around too long. Tom Petty, Full Moon Fever, $36.99. Free Falling, I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream. Great stuff. Pearl Jam Unplugged, 2LP colored vinyl. I believe it's on red vinyl. That is the complete Unplugged concert, $39.99. This sounds good. It plays good. Great record there. Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits is $36.99. Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits. We have all of a sudden a bunch of these because we needed one for the store. Two, when they went out of print not too long ago, they were kind of difficult to get and they weren't cheap. That is $36.99 for Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits collection. They're all on there. Final call on Whitney Houston for $25, and I'm looking for a $20 start on the Staying Alive soundtrack. Jacob Smith wants a Pearl Jam, Alvo Dabney on Tom Petty. And we have Staying Alive, Arthur's at $20. Thank you, Arthur. Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way. By the Way is $39.99 for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And we have Dolly Parton's Jolene. Dolly Parton's Jolene is $29.99. Good luck finding originals of this anymore. Just seems like they don't even exist. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits, $28.99. And the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge. Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge, $49.99. Beck Sea Changes, I have two of those left. $44.99 for Beck Sea Changes. And the Black Crowes Shake Your Moneymaker, $33.99 for the Black Crowes Shake Your Moneymaker. Alvo Dabney wants a Red Hot Chili Peppers By the Way. Let's go ahead and sell Whitney Houston to Jet It for $25. That's a fantastic deal. And let's go ahead and sell Staying Alive to Arthur Maldondo for $20. Those are sold and sold. You have Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Yes, there should be one of those around here from last night somewhere. Should be somewhere around here. I will pull you one if you want one. I have another Whitney Houston. It's pretty much the same thing, just a different Obi. Does anybody want Whitney Houston for $25? Buy it now. Self-titled Whitney Houston. You can buy that now. And I'm going to put up for auction Philip Bailey, Chinese Wall. This has the hit single with Phil Collins, Easy Lover on it. Near mint pristine vinyl. There's the insert. And there's the cover in shrink wrap. That is a $20 start on Philip Bailey, Chinese Wall. $20 start on Philip Bailey. Robert Johnson wants the other Whitney Houston for $25. Philip Bailey is a $20 start. And what's next in the crate? Boz Scaggs and Band. Boz Scaggs and Band. $20 start on that. Near mint, pristine, Japanese pressing. $20 start on that one. Blue Oyster Cult live at the Rock of Ages Festival, July 30th, 2016. That is $36.99 for BOC. Looks like I have two of those left. And new for this week, the Stray Cats Greatest Hits, $29.99. The Stray Cats Greatest Hits, $29.99. All right, Bailey and Boz both have bids. This was Exodus, Tom Petty, Pearl Jam, Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits, Dolly Parton's Jolene, Alice Cooper, the Rolling Stones, Beck Sea Changes, Black Crow Shake Your Moneymaker, Blue Oyster Cult Live, and Stray Cats sold to Jimmy Ball. Stray Cats sold to Jimmy Ball. All right, so those both auctions, Bailey and Boz going twice, going three times. At this rate, we might go through two crates of Japanese vinyl tonight. We might go through two crates. Let me see what's in our next bin of vintage over here. Good Rats. I see some Beatles. I see some Blues. Uh-oh. Blues buyers be on standby. Some soundtracks. I see some OG Soul. An audio file. Uh-oh. This is definitely going up for auction. Let me see if there's new bids on anything. Philip Bailey has a bid. All right, but we can go ahead and sell Boz Scaggs, it looks like. That's sold to Jerry Stone for $20. Look what I just found. Grateful Dead, Wake of the Flood. Let's see what label it is. Possibly OG. The matrix reads GD-01-B-M33 MS3. This is a nice copy too. Grateful Dead, Wake of the Flood. That's a $45 start. Grateful Dead, Wake of the Flood. Nice jacket too. Does have a clip corner. Grateful Dead. That's a $45 start. Wake of the Flood. That's now up for bid. Brian C's at 22 on Philip Bailey. That means, Scott Corcoran, you're out. You're out on that one. Let me see what else is in this crate before I put it up. Wow, yeah, some good titles in here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, the packing peanuts we ship are completely edible. Yeah, completely edible. Scott's back in on Philip Bailey at 25. New crate of vintage arrivals. We have Aretha Franklin, The Girls in Love with You. Aretha Franklin is $19.99. The Girls in Love with You, $19.99. Leonard Cohen, Live Songs. You know what? I've never seen this one before or had it. $29.99. Leonard Cohen. It has a promo stamp on the label, and it has a promo timing strip on the front. Leonard Cohen is $29.99. The Yes album, another copy, $19.99. Who needs one that missed out on the other one? This one's a 7-digit reissue, but it is pristine, $19.99. Let's see here. Ryan Anderson first to Leonard Cohen. Jimmy Ball was second. Grateful Dead, textured sleeve, custom label, OG. Yep, textured cover, custom label. $45 start. Wake of the Flood, Grateful Dead. Ramjet, Roger Ramjet gets Yes. There's several Yes albums in here, so everybody pay close attention. There's actually another one coming up next, but I'm going to skip that so there's no confusion. Who was second on Philip Bailey? Brian C., let me know if you're in or out on Philip Bailey. And no bids yet on Grateful Dead. Let me skip this next Yes album, and I'll show Miles Davis and Jimmy Forrest, Live at the Barrel, Volume 2. Jimmy Forrest and Miles Davis, $24.99 on that. $24.99 on that. Psychedelic Lollipop, Blues Magoos, $39.99. Psychedelic Lollipop. Nice copy. Red Mercury label, $39.99. Miles Davis is sold to Robert Johnson. Pam Dickens was second. Yes, self-titled is $24.99. This originally came out $69. This is a 1973 pressing. I like this one, $24.99. Yes, self-titled, $24.99 for Yes, self-titled. And Bruce Springsteen, The River, $29.99 for Bruce Springsteen, The River. Very nice copy. Does it have the book with it? It has the inner sleeves. I don't see the booklet with this one. $29.99. All right, so Miles Davis. Jimmy Ball on Psychedelic Lollipop. That's sold to Jimmy Ball. Brent Rabley's in on the Grateful Dead. Going twice, going 3 times now on the Grateful Dead for $45. And James Bragg wants I was reading Brian C's comment. James Bragg gets Yes, and Brian C's out on this, so sell that to Scott Corcoran for $25. Final call on the Grateful Dead for $45. Brent Rabley has that for $45, going, about to be sold. Next, Japanese pressing. This is a copy of Rod Stewart, Atlantic Crossing. I'm going to start this one for $15. Japanese press of Rod Stewart, Atlantic Crossing. That is near mint with insert and obi. $15 start on Rod Stewart. The Beach Boys. This one is called 69. The Beach Boys 69. That is $19.99, and that's in shrink wrap. Brian Wilson self-titled. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, gold stamp promo, $19.99 for Brian Wilson. And James Taylor, a half-speed master, $49.99, 1981. This is a James Taylor, Dad Loves His Work, mint, half-speed CBS audiophile pressing, $49.99. Grateful Dead is sold to Brent Rabley for $45. Jimmy Ball is at $15 on Rod Stewart. That's going once, going twice. Jesse, I see your comment. Let me know if you want to get in on that. And let's go ahead and roll with a $25 start on Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert. Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert. Vinyl is near mint. There's the insert with it. Really good stuff here. Very nice copy. Gatefold, $25 start on Eric Clapton's Rainbow Concert. That's a $25 start. All right, Craig Weatherford on Brian Wilson. That's sold to Craig. We have the Beach Boys, Shut Down Volume 2, a 1964 Scranton press, stereo, $29.99. $29.99. Final call on Rod Stewart for $15, and Jimmy Ball's also in on Eric Clapton for $25. The Rolling Stones, Tattoo You, Start Me Up, original inner sleeve, near mint minus vinyl, that is $34.99. The Rolling Stones Black and Blue, Black and Blue, also a really nice copy, $34.99 on that. And the Beach Boys, Made in USA, that is $24.99. The Beach Boys, Made in USA, $24.99. Rainbow Concert, it looks like 3 people bid $25. Jimmy Ball was in first, then Paul, then Mitchell, and then James, so 4 people. Jesse's out on Rod Stewart. Brent Rabley was first to the Beach Boys, which is this one right here, Shut Down. James Bragg's backing on the Clapton at 27. Gloria wants Black and Blue, and it looks like we got multiple people bidding now on Clapton. We can go ahead and sell Rod Stewart to Jimmy Ball for $15. Clapton is now up for bid. Let me grab another one. Not before I show you the Beach Boys Rarities. The Beach Boys Rarities, $24.99. That's in shrink wrap. Well, that's a Clapton album. We can't put that one up. The Beach Boys Concert. This one has an Obi Rip right down here. Obi Rip, Beach Boys Concert. We're going to start this one for $20. The Beach Boys in concert, $20 start for that. If you're just joining us, we're going through a lot of Japanese vinyl tonight. We got a bunch of new shipments in, so what we do is stuff that I hadn't got. I don't think some of these I've ever put up before. Some of them I may have, but regardless, I'm starting them a lot lower tonight. We're getting them hopefully all moved, and we'll have new. Well, some of this is new, but we'll definitely have new stuff tomorrow, and then probably all next week like we did this week. We've shown a lot of Japanese vinyl. We've sold hundreds of Japanese pressings this week. Eric Clapton is at 34. Paul Brothers, Beach Boys in Concert is a 2 LP. Does have some damage to the Obi. This has some good songs on it. I have some of these on my playlist, these live versions. I really like this one. That is now up for auction. Let's sell the 2 that don't have bids yet. $15 on these. If anybody wants the Beach Boys for $15 or Roger Daltrey, that's a $5 more off. 15 and 15 if anybody wants those. 15 and 15 if anybody wants those. Eric Clapton's at 35. Beach Boys is at 21. And Aretha Franklin is a 1968 Monarch press, $64.99. Aretha Franklin, Aretha Now. This is a 1968 Monarch pressing, $64.99. The Dave Matthews. Okay, I'll show it in just a second. Okay, so high bid on Eric Clapton. I feel like we already had somebody at 35. Jimmy Ball was at 35. Bob Dorko's at 21 on the Beach Boys. And James McGowan gets this Beach Boys for $15. Paul's out on Eric Clapton. And Roger Daltrey is 15. Brent Rabley is first on Aretha Franklin. This is, yeah, that's the one I just showed. That's sold to Brent Rabley. Eric Clapton, $36.37. Aretha Franklin, Ladies Soul. This one came back in stock this week as the clear vinyl 75th anniversary. Well, this is another nice copy too. Where did these come from? 1968 CTH press. That Aretha is $34.99. Ladies Soul. These are usually beat to heck. Those are usually completely beat to heck. It's kind of rare seeing those in that kind of grade. The Easy Rider soundtrack is $34.99. This is an OG 1969 Terre Haute press. Also a very nice copy. Hendrix, The Bird, Steppenwolf, doing some of the music on that soundtrack. Final Call on the Beach Boys. Bob Dorko has this for $21. That's going twice, going 3 times. And the Eric Clapton concert. Looks like it's between James and Jimmy now. James Bragg has the high bid at $38. Brent Rabley first to Aretha Franklin. That was $15 to James McGowan. Okay, Easy Rider. Willie and the Poor Boys featuring Jimmy Page and a lot of other Charlie Watts and Bill Wyman from the Stones. That's $19.99, Willie and the Poor Boys. And the Rolling Stones, this is some kind of Decca German compilation, yes. Earlier stuff, $39.99. It says it includes a Mick Jagger poster. I think that's long gone. No Mick Jagger poster. Does have a Rolling Stones inner sleeve. That is $39.99. $39.99. Okay, so both auctions are still getting bids. James McGowan's now the high bidder on the Beach Boys at 22. Brent Rabley first to the Rolling Stones, and Brandon Jackson first to Willie and the Poor Boys. Those are sold and sold. Another Rolling Stones, Emotional Rescue. This one has the poster with it. This has the poster with it, $39.99. Emotional Rescue with the poster. And Hot Rocks, $49.99. If John Young's watching, he'll want to know the matrix number on side 4. Blue London stereo label. Nice copy. Hot Rocks, $49.99. Okay, so Brent Rabley got that Stones German comp. Brandon Jackson got Willie and the Poor Boys. Then Jimmy Ball was first to the Stones. Jimmy, that means you can have picks of Emotional Rescue or Hot Rock. Gloria was second. Toby Grimm was third. Bob Dorco, let me know if you're in or out on the Beach Boys. James McGowan's the high bidder on that at 22. And I think we don't have anybody saying out yet on this. James Bragg's at $40. Jimmy Ball, let me know if you're in or out. Let me know if you're in or out on that. And Paul Brothers, if you want Roger Daltrey, it's yours for $15. That'll be yours for $15. Jimmy wanted Emotional Rescue. Okay, so Gloria also wanted Emotional Rescue. So Toby Grimm, if you want the Stones, Hot Rocks, that's yours if you want it. Toronto Rock and Roll Revival, this is Chicago. So I think y'all have seen these before. We had an Alice Cooper the other night. These are live concerts. This is $9.99. Wow, Chicago live. $9.99. Doing some great songs too. Beginnings, 25 or 624. Questions. Somebody's definitely going to grab that. I would keep it for $9.99. Paul Brothers said sold on Roger Daltrey. That's $15. Toby Grimm also wanted Emotional Rescue. Okay, it's already spoken for. Eric Clapton, Jimmy, and James are still bidding on that. And Ryan Foster was first to the Chicago. But we can sell James McGowan, the Beach Boys, for $22. That's sold to James McGowan for $22. Next, we still got a Clapton up, so I can't run that one. Next is The Sound of Music. We had an Obi-less one the other night. Here's one with an Obi. This is the Sound of Music soundtrack, gatefold pressing. The booklet with this one is kind of intact in the gatefold. You know, sometimes that's a loose feature, especially with the original RCA pressings. This is a really nice cover, Obi. Just a $20 start on this one. Near mint Japanese pressing, pristine orange label. That is a $20 start. $20 start. Okay. 4 people wanted the Chicago. Ryan Foster was first. Olivia Newton-John, Totally Hot. That is $9.99. Hand Me Down My Old Walking Stick. Big Joe Williams, $24.99. A $24.99, a World Pacific. I was about to say, I think that was on World Pacific. That's $20 or $24. What did I say on that one? It's already sold to Brent. That was $24.99. That's sold to Brent Rabley. Sleepy John Estes in Europe. This is on the Delmark label, $24.99. $24.99. So Brent got that one. Robert Johnson was second to Joe Williams. They're still bidding on Eric Clapton. James Bragg's at $44. Sound of Music is at $26.30, and Brent Rabley was first to Sleepy. Next is the Gloria of Alberta Hunter. Alberta Hunter is $19.99. Jimmy Ball's at $45 on Eric Clapton. Big Mouth, $14.99. Big Mouth, self-titled. On the Spin Dizzy label, $14.99. Tommy the Who. This is on Decca, $39.99. OG Press. Tommy the Who, $39.99, and Rick Ruskin, Microphone Fever, $19.99 from 1975. Rick Ruskin. And the Beatles, this one's called Real Music, as in a compilation of music from their soundtracks, and of course it has the Real Music medley. This is $24.99. And Good Rats, Tasty, has a promo sticker on the front. This is a promo copy. Promotion not for sale, stamped right there, just not a white label. Sometimes they didn't make white labels. James is out on Eric Clapton, so Jimmy Ball has that for $45, going twice, going 3 times, and also going twice, going 3 times is The Sound of Music to Melinda Gernhardt. Melinda has that for $30. So Ryan Foster was first to Tommy. Jesse Hood, the Easy Rider soundtrack was $34.99. That's a 69 Terre Haute OG, and Ryan Foster was first to the Beatles, Real Music. Ryan Foster was first to that. All right, I'm about to end these 2 auctions. I wasn't going to recap any crates until later, but let me go ahead and do that one. I'll just read the titles in case you hopped on and you missed the end of it. This is Good Rats, Rick Ruskin. Big Mouth, Alberta Hunter, Olivia Newton-John. The Stones, Hot Rocks, the Easy Rider soundtrack. Beach Boys Rarities, Beach Boys Made in USA. The Stones, Tattoo You, kind of surprised that's still there. James Taylor, Dad Loves His Work. That's an audiophile pressing. Beach Boys 69, Bruce Springsteen, The River, and only one Aretha Franklin album left. This Girl's in Love with You This is another nice, clean OG copy. That's $19.99. All right, Melinda gets The Sound of Music for $30. That's sold to Melinda Gernhardt. And Jimmy Ball gets the Eric Clapton Rainbow Concert for $45. Let me put up 2 new Japanese auctions. Let's do another Clapton. This is going to be a $25 start as well. Eric Clapton Backless, near mint, pristine Japanese pressing. Beautiful vinyl. Looks like it's unplayed. That is near mint, what we call pristine Japanese vinyl. This is the Japanese 2-page flip with lyrics and the history of, look, the slow hand story. It has the history of Eric Clapton, all the stuff he played on. That will take you 3 years to read and understand. He played on a lot of records. He still is playing on records. Eric Clapton, Backless. That's a $25 start. Let's see here. You need a night when you walk around the store like you used to. Yeah, I do, but we couldn't do it on YouTube. That's the problem. But unless we figure out how to make this thing mobile. But I mean, I can roll it around, but it's kind of inefficient. Grant Peltzer said he'd give $29.99 for Hot Rocks or for Tattoo You. Go ahead and sell that to Grant Peltzer. Brent Rabley said he'd do $45 on Hot Rocks. Sell that to Brent Rabley. And Gloria, we've already sold Tattoo You. Days of the New came in. Yes, Days of the New came in. Those are on this week's invoice. And I'm looking for a $25 start on Clapton. There's still some good records left in there. I've got a spot for one more Japanese pressing. What's next in the bin? Jimi Hendrix. I can't start this one for $20, but I will start it a lot cheaper than I think we ever have. I'll start this one for $35. This is soundtrack recordings from the film Jimi Hendrix. This one does have some pretty heavy foxing up here, some discoloration on the gatefold. You really can't see it that much on the front or the back, but that's a $35 start. Both of the LPs are near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine on the vinyl. They look unplayed. And there's the Japanese booklet. Also a little bit of discoloration on that, but not a bad pressing overall, especially for what's important, the vinyl. 3 people have bid $35. James C. Jones was in first. I'm still looking for a $25 start on Clapton. There's an empty crate. Yes, we love empty crates. I'm going to hand that one over to Tanner. Let me figure out a crate of new vinyl maybe we can go through again. Here's some new stuff from last night. Let me go through that. James C. Jones is at 37 on Jimi Hendrix. We're on a roll with the vintage stuff. I need to put up another one of those in just a second. But we have to show new vinyl. We have a lot from the last couple weeks. This is new stuff from last night. First is the Dead Kennedys, In God We Trust. That is $24.99. The Dead Kennedys, In God We Trust. I have one of those left. And this is a new release from Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac, Can't Stop Loving New Orleans, live, 1970, $31.99. Korn, Take a Look in the Mirror, $38.99 for Korn. And Screaming Trees, Uncle Anesthesia, that's a music on vinyl pressing, $48.99. And Requiem Mass, that's also a Korn album, limited edition blue vinyl, Requiem captured live, $28.99. The Offspring, Americana, $36.99. Final warning on the Eric Clapton. If no one bids $25 pretty soon, I'm going to end that one and make it a buy it now. You can bid now to guarantee you're going to get it. Maybe not for $25, but at least you'll get a somewhat of a guarantee. Linkin Park, Reanimation. That is $33.99. Last one we have of those. Korn, self-titled. Korn is $56.99. That's a 2LP music on vinyl pressing. Dusty Springfield in Memphis. This is a new arrival on clear vinyl. $29.99. Dusty Springfield in Memphis. $29.99. New release from Genesis. This is BBC Broadcast. BBC Broadcast, $69.99. That's a new release 3LP set. I actually seen a Facebook ad for this pop up on my news feed. They probably heard me talking about it last night. Unreleased music. Official. Coldplay, Viva La Vida, $36.99. The Talking Heads, $77. That's about the only Talking Heads album we can get, $31.99. And REM Monster, $33.99. I have 2 REM Monsters. Okay, we do have a bid on Eric Clapton. Alvo Dabney was in first at 25. Ron Foster, you were second, so you're out. Alvo was in first. And Jimi Hendrix is on its final call. Brian C. has that for $39. Brian C. has that for $39. Maroon 5, Songs About Jane, $36.99 for Maroon 5. And The Clash, London Calling, $39.99 for The Clash, London Calling. Last one we have left. Alvo Dabney wants an REM. Which Genesis lineup is it? It's actually all lineups, I guess you could say. It starts in it goes far back as 1972 which should be pre-Phil Collins. I'm assuming it should be. And then, yeah, it goes up through 87 with like, and 90, it goes up through 1992, Nebworth. So, yeah. 72, 71, 72, 72, 75, 80, 80, 80, 87, 87, and 92. Okay. WVU Mounties also wants an REM Monster. Jimi Hendrix is at 40. Jimi Hendrix is at 42. Do you have a Monster to drink? I don't have a Monster tonight. No, I actually haven't had one in a while. Sounds like I'm on a Monster. I'm just in a selling mood tonight. It's Friday night. Everybody's at home with nothing to do except buy records. Offspring Smash, $28.99, and Tom Petty Southern Accents, $38.99. Korn, Follow the Leader, is $36.99. Tanner's always told me the faster I talk, the more records I sell. So I try to talk as fast as I can. All right. Okay, Alvo Dabney's going to get the Eric Clapton for $25. That was a deal. And then they're still bidding on Jimi Hendrix. We have 42, now 45. Eric Smalley wants the Offspring Smash. That's sold to Eric. We have Korn, Life is Peachy, music on vinyl pressing, $49.99. U2 Zeropa, that is $38.99, 2 LP copy of that. And Korn Untouchables, $38.99. We have lots of Korn in here. We love Korn. Everclear, the very best of Everclear, splatter vinyl. I've sold a bunch of those. I've restocked them 2 or 3 at a time. Those are $33.99. And Night Ranger, Midnight Madness, blue vinyl, $28.99. 1 copy left of XTC Oranges. Is actually our only copy. XTC Oranges and Lemons, $59.99. XTC Oranges and Lemons, $59.99. And the Black Crows Amorica, $42.99. James Bragg says all 3 Korn. All 3 Korn. All right, so the first one we had, let me make sure we have Take a Look in the Mirror. That's number 1. Then we have Requiem Mass. That's number 2. Then we had Korn Self-Titled. That's number 3. And then we had Follow the Leader. That's number 4. And then we have Life is Peachy. That's number 5. And then we have Follow the Untouchables. That's number 6. So there's actually 6 Korn albums in here. James Bragg said all 3. And then Eric said both. And Mike Massey wants Screaming Trees. And David wants a Night Ranger. So that's the Korn albums. Let me know exactly which ones you want. You may want all 6. And then Eric, let me know which 2 you want. David wants a Night Ranger. Let me pull one of those for David. David Sweevil gets a Night Ranger. And then we can pull Mike Massey, the Screaming Trees, Uncle Anesthesia. James Bragg says Take Off Self-Titled. Okay, so he doesn't need a Korn Self-Titled. So I can put that back. And he wants these 5, which is Untouchables, Life is Peachy, Follow the Leader, Requiem Mass, and Take a Look in the Mirror. Those are also to James Bragg. Okay, now, Eric Smalley, let me know which 2 you want. I still got a copy of Self-Titled, Untouchables, Follow the Leader. He wants Self-Titled. All right, so there's 1 for Eric. And where do we have here? Is Monster new release from REM? No, that's just a restock. We've had that one in for a while. Final call on the Jimi Hendrix. Brian C's at 46. Who else was bidding? James C. Jones. J. Seams Jones, let me know if you're in or out on this. And Eric Smalley also wants Untouchables. All right, so those are both sold to Eric. Eric, let me know if anybody else wants, or if you want anything else in there. That leaves the Black Crows Amorica, XTC, Night Ranger, Everclear, U2, Korn, Tom Petty, Genesis, The Clash, Maroon 5, Talking Heads, Coldplay, Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man, Linkin Park, Offspring, Fleetwood Mac, and the Dead Kennedys. Did you get a full De La Soul allocation? Yes. Everybody has them, and I actually don't even think I have a waiting list. But yes, if you pre-ordered that with us this week, you got one even on colored vinyl. Even on colored vinyl. Black Crows is $42.99, Derek. $42.99 for the Black Crows Amorica. And Jerry Stone wants a Silverchair Freak Show. That was from the last crate, wasn't it? Yeah, that was from the last crate. And James Bragg wants the other Offspring. That was Offspring Americana. Offspring Americana. So there's that for James Bragg. Which Korn do I have? You have Self-Titled and Untouchables. Eric, Self-Titled and Untouchables. And what did Jerry Stone want? Silverchair Freak Show. That should be right Let's see. Must be in the... Which crate was that in? Let's see here. That must have been in that very, very first crate. Yep, that was in that... No? Yeah, that was in that very first crate. We've already been through 4 crates of new vinyl tonight. That's sold to Jerry Stone, and Edward Star Wars wants a Black Crowes Amorica. Derek, there's one of those left. I didn't mean to call you Derrica. I was thinking about Amorica. That is sold to Edward. There's one of those that's left. I think they're still bidding on Jimi Hendrix. Brian C., you're back out. James C. Jones now has that for $47. Time for new vintage. Let me look through the crate first to make sure there's nothing like completely mind-blowing that is going to make me dizzy and pass out if I'm not aware it's in here. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see what else is in here. We always auction these off. Some good titles. More great classic rock and a couple of blues and lots of The Boss. Dwight Yoakam, Hillbilly Deluxe. Dwight Yoakam, Hillbilly Deluxe. The cover looks like VG Plus, but not bad. Original inner sleeve. Vinyl looks near mint and unplayed. Dwight Yoakam is a $35 start. Hillbilly Deluxe, $35 start on that. Brian C., let me know if you're in or out on Jimi Hendrix. Derek Hartman says he'll take the Black Crowes. That's the last copy of Amorica. That is sold to Derek Hartman. I'm out. I'd like to be put... I'd like a copy put on wait list. Are you talking about for this? For Jimi Hendrix? We get those kind of often on Japanese pressings. Not too often, but we do. So, Dwight Yoakam's up for bid. Let's go ahead and sell Jimi Hendrix to James C. Jones for $47. Dwight Yoakam's now up for bid. We got a $35 and $35 bid. Next Japanese pressing. Let me see what I just pulled out. Deep Purple. We're going to auction these off. We're doing a lot of $20 and $25 starts tonight. Deep Purple, 24 karat purple. Deep Purple, 24 karat purple. Near mint, pristine. This is a Deep Purple greatest hits. There's the LP. There's the Japanese insert lyric book. Very nice cover with Obi. This is a $25 start. 24 karat purple. That's a Deep Purple hits compilation. I think there's several Springsteen albums in here, so when we get to those, you can already see the box set. But please let me know the exact name of the album when we get to that. Big Joe Turner, Turns on the Blues from 1970. 1999, Calvin Ward's in on Deep Purple at 25. Andy Wade, you were second to Hillbilly Deluxe. So that means if you want to be the high bidder, you've got to bid more than WVU Mounties, and he's at 35. Bruce Springsteen Live, box set, 1975 to 85, 5 LPs with book. That is $49.99. Robert Johnson, first to Big Joe Turner. Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark. That's a 12-inch single, $9.99, Dancing in the Dark. The spectacular Johnny Horton. This is sealed. The Battle of New Orleans, $19.99. That is sealed. Andy Wade's in on the Hillbilly for $36. This is a Bruce Springsteen promo sampler. So this is a sampler from the box set. It's a promo and it's sealed. It is sealed, $29.99. Jake Rogers wants Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. That's sold to Jake Rogers. Bruce Springsteen, this is also a promo sampler from Born in the USA, $34.99. You can definitely see the alternate artwork there. This is a sampler from that, $34.99. But it actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs on it, including Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Let's see here. Johnny Horton is sold to Pam Dickens. WVU Mounties, you're out on Hillbilly Deluxe. Andy Wade has it for $36. Brent McKinney's at $26 on Deep Purple. And John Sheehan wants the Bruce sampler. Let me know if you want the Born in the USA or the live one. And then here's Born in the USA 12-inch single with different mixes. That's $19.99. $19.99. Bessie Smith, The Collection. Bessie Smith, The Collection, Gold Stamp promo, $19.99. In person, Buck White and the Down Home Folks. In person, Buck White, $14.99. And Christopher Cross. Let's see how many people want it tonight. $9.99. I meant to tell John just to get a bunch of these together so we can show them all at once. That is another near mint copy, $9.99. All right, John was first. He wants the sampler from the live LP. So that's sold to him. And then Joe Sloop wants the Born in the USA sampler. So John Sheehan got the live. Joe Sloop was first to that. Andy Wade, you were second. Hillbilly Deluxe is at 37. Deep Purples is at 27. Michael Nath got Bessie Smith and Angela Chesney on CK. CK was Christopher Cross. CC, probably. Yeah, Christopher Cross. That's sold to Angela Chesney. Gary Samuels, you were second. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Greatest Hits, 1999. All their greatest hits like Spinning Wheel and You Make Me So Very Happy. That's a nice copy, 1999. Johnny Winter, Raising Cain. Raising Cain is 1999. Firefall, Luna C. That is $9.99 for Firefall. And Arlo Guthrie, Running Down the Road. Arlo Guthrie, $14.99. Deep Purple's at 28. Andy Wade, You're Back Out on Hillbilly Deluxe at 37. Sean Phillips, Faces. Sean Phillips, Faces. That is $19.99 for Sean Phillips, Faces. And Kansas, Leftoverture. Kansas, Leftoverture, $19.99. OG copy. We had one of those the other night, or last night, I think. Foghat, Fool for the City. This is $19.99. Has the hit Slow Ride on it. Foghat's $19.99. And Loretta Lynn, I Remember Patsy, as in Patsy Cline. That is $19.99. Deep Purple, 28, now 30. Susie Breedlove, first to Foghat. Andy's back in on Hillbilly Deluxe at 38. Hall & Oates, No Goodbyes. Hall & Oates, No Goodbyes, $19.99. That's one we don't see as often. $19.99. And Billie Holiday's Greatest Hits, $29.99. Billie Holiday's Greatest Hits. All right, so Susie was first to Foghat. Hillbilly Deluxe was at 38. Pam Dickens is first to Loretta Lynn. Jeff Malwitz, you were second to Foghat. And let's see, Billy Humphrey, you were third to Loretta Lynn. Michael Nath first to Billie Holiday. Pam Dickens was second. So I think WVU Mounties is now out on Dwight Yoakam. We have a nice cover's not bad at all. It's EX VG Plus. It's not a bad cover. Original inner sleeve and near mint pristine vinyl. Dwight Yoakam's at $38. Vandy Wade. Final call on that. And Deep Purple is at $30 with Chip Hall. Calvin says he's out. So Brent McKinney, you're next. $30 is with Chip Hall. Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. What a weird movie. $29.99. Original soundtrack, $29.99. Risky Business, $34.99. 1984. This is one of Tom Cruise's breakout films. 1984 UK soundtrack, $34.99. That's a UK pressing of the Risky Business soundtrack. Men at Work Cargo is $24.99. Men at Work Cargo, $24.99. Near mint pristine. And Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. That's a soundtrack, $19.99. Brian C. wants Clockwork Orange soundtrack. That is sold. They're still bidding on Deep Purple, $31. No other bids on Dwight Yoakam, so we're going to sell that to Andy Wade for $38. So Deep Purple is now at 31 with Brent McKinney. Chip Hall, you're out, and Pam Dickens is first to Virginia Woolf. Let me grab another Japanese pressing. Next, what have I just grabbed? Eagles, One of These Nights. $25 start. Never put one up that cheap before. Starting bid. Eagles, One of These Nights. This is a nice copy. Near mint pristine Japanese vinyl. Nothing wrong with it. There's the lyric insert. It looks pristine, and this is an amazing cover. There are no signs of wear, blemishes. Pristine Obi, One of These Nights, the Eagles. That's a $25 start. Arthur is in at $25. Music from the motion picture Go. Never seen this before. Limited edition 12-inch promo double pack. Steppenwolf, BT, DJ Rap, and Line Rock. That's from 1999. That is $19.99. Wild in the Street soundtrack is $19.99. And we have Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis soundtrack, $24.99 for that. Ray Wiley Hubbard. Don't see his stuff too often. $19.99. $19.99. That's and the Cowboy Twinkies. And the Cowboy Twinkies. Is that what that says? Yep. And Waylon Jennings Greatest Hits. $24.99 for Waylon Jennings Greatest Hits. Eagles, $25.25. Michael Naff's at $30. I'm about to sell Deep Purple, even if nobody says in or out. I've got to sell that very quickly. Brent McKinney has that for $31. Final call. Yes, Brian C., you got Clockwork Orange. Willie Nelson, Always on My Mind, $14.99. With Hop Sticker, $14.99. Very nice copy. Willie Nelson, always on my mind. George Jones, first time live. George Jones, $14.99. George Jones live. Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, the Kansas City song. Buck Owens is $9.99. $9.99. And Chad and Jeremy, before and after. $9.99. Chad and Jeremy. Okay. Let's see here. Eagles 30. Yes, you got Clockwork Orange, Brian C. Andy Wade, first to the Risky Business soundtrack. That's sold to Andy Wade. Do you have access to tracks from the Ghost soundtrack? Give me 1 second on that. Patrick, we've already got a $30 bid on the Eagles, and now we're at 33. WVU Mounties first on Buck Owens. Where's our Buck Owens buyers at? WVU Mounties coming in on that one, and Paul Brothers wants George Jones. Brent McKinney gets the Deep Purple soundtrack for $31. That is sold. High bid on the Eagles. Michael Nath, you're now out. Arthur has that for $33. And the tracks on the, tracks on the go is Magic Carpet Ride, Steers, 1999 Ride Club Mix, Believer, performed by BT, Good to Be Alive by DJ Rap, and Fire Up the Shoe Saw by Line Rock. That is $19.99. Francis, you were second to the George Jones Live. Michael Nath is out on the Eagles, and we have Marvin Jackson, Ozark Rockabilly, a 1985 Holland press in $19.99. The Eagles is a pristine copy of One of These Nights. Arthur has that for $33. That's going twice, going 3 times. And our next Japanese auction, just for a $20 start, is Foreigner 4. Foreigner 4, a pristine Japanese pressing. Looks unplayed, as a lot of them do. Sound amazing. This has a lyric insert and a Japanese insert with it. Very nice cover as well with Obi. Foreigner 4 is just a $20 start. Scott's in on the Eagles at 35. We have Maddox Brothers and Rose. That is sealed. $14.99 Maddox Brothers and Rose. Bob Seger, Stranger in Town. Seger is $29.99. Bob Seger, Stranger in Town. Hollywood Nights, Old Time Rock and Roll, still the same. That's some good stuff. Patsy Montana and the Prairie Ramblers, $9.99. The Fateful Hours. What do we have here? It looks like is this a JFK record I've never seen before? It is. That's not for sale. I've never seen that one before. Sorry. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, The Presidential Years. That is sealed, $24.99. And Johnny Winter and Uncle John Turner. Johnny Winter, never seen that before. $19.99. Original Golden Hits of Great Blues Singers Volume 2. That's a white label promo. Original Golden Hits of the Great Blues Singers Volume 2. Bobby Bland, Lightning Hopkins, Howlin' Wolf. That's $19.99, and it's a white label promo. And This Is How It All Began, Volume 2. We had Volume 1 the other night. This is an evolution of rock and roll demonstrated by original recordings made from 52 to 58 on the Specialty label, $19.99. Update on our auctions. Arthur's at 30. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Josh says he passes. Eagles 35, Foreigner 20, Foreigner 20, Foreigner 20, Foreigner 25. Eagles 38, Foreigner 20, Foreigner 26. Michael Nath was first to Blue. I think that was this one here, the Blues Comp, is the Ghost Soundtrack 2 LPs. I believe so. Yes, certainly feels like it. Yep, Ghost Soundtrack is 2 LPs. Who asked that? Craig Weatherford. Eagles 41 of James Bragg. Pam Dickens, you were second to the hits, then Robert Johnson, then James Cohorn, and now Foreigners at 28. So Foreigners at 28, the Eagles is at 41. Let me read through a couple more titles in there. The Ghost Soundtrack, This Is How It All Began. That's a Specialty Records comp. There's some great artists on Specialty Records like Little Richard, Tutti Frutti, and Lottie Miss Claudie, Lloyd Price, Sam Cooke, Tony Allen, Jesse Blevin. That is $19.99. The Ghost Soundtrack is also $19.99. Johnny Winter and Uncle John Turner, JFK record, Patsy Montana, Bob Seger, Maddox Brothers and Rose, Marvin Jackson, Chad and Jeremy, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings' Greatest Hits, Ray Wiley Hubbard and the Cowboy Twinkies, Great Balls of Fire, Wild in the Streets, Men at Work Cargo, Hall & Oates, Kansas is still available, Carry On My Wayward Son, Sean Phillips, Firefall, Johnny Winter, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Buck White and the Down Home Folks, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, that's a 12-inch single, And then the Bruce Springsteen live box set. Craig Weatherford said he'll take the Ghost soundtrack. That's sold to Craig Weatherford. Johnny Winter and Firefall for $25. Let's see here. Johnny Winter and Firefall for $25. Sell both of these. Who offered that first? Gary Samuel. Sell him this Johnny Winter and the Firefall for $25. Craig Weatherford got go. And let's see here. Mike McGinnis, you were second on that. Michael Herrera, I don't have any copies of Dazed and Confused, I think, but I will put you on a waiting list if that's okay. Yeah, here's the JFK record I kept. I don't know what this is, but it says there is absolutely no explaining what happened in the newsroom at the radio station at KLIF in Dallas, November 22nd. It looks like it's got all kinds of people speaking on it. People that were there that day, people from that news station, Governor Conley. While of enormous emotional interest now, this recording will be in years to come a historic collector's item. There you go. They were correct. It's on Capital Custom. Wow. I've never seen that label before. Capital Custom by KLIF in Dallas. I have a lot of JFK records, probably including all the Oswald bootlegs of all of his recordings. I could probably fill up a half of a crate. I don't have them all together, but I've never seen that one, so that's not for sale. Okay. Next crate. Anybody else want anything out of here? Let's get an update on our auctions. The Eagles. The Eagles is at 41 with James Bragg. No one else has bid. That's a final call. I'm about to sell that as soon as I put up a new crate. And the last bid I seen on Foreigner was David Eberly at 30. David Eberly's at 30, so that's also final call. 41 and 30 on those. I'm going to grab a new crate of something. Let's go through some new vinyl I've got maybe over here or maybe back here in the back or something. Foreigner's now at 33, and WV Mounties wants WJ price. WJ. Marvin Jackson maybe? Marvin Jackson is $19.99, Ozark Rockabilly. All right, we've almost emptied 2 entire bins of vintage. All of it can probably fit into one now. I think this is some new vinyl from last night. What else is in this bin here? Yeah, let's go through this one right quick. I think that's some new stuff from last night. Oh, Waylon Jennings. That is $24.99. Waylon Jennings is $24.99. Eagles is sold to James Bragg for $41. And Foreigner, we had a bid of 33 with Shane Berry. Who else was bidding? I think Shane did have. David Eberly had it for 30. Shane Berry's back in at 33. Okay? And David Eberly says he's out. Condition on Ray. Which one was Ray? Riley, Ray, Waylon. Ray is $19.99. Yeah, $19.99. Aha! Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. I know I hadn't put this one up, but it would have definitely already sold. I'm going to start this one at just $65. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. This is a 2LP Japanese compilation of Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. It does have some foxing in the gatefold. The obi and cover, not bad whatsoever. Foxing on the back. You really can't see any on the front, but foxing on the back, this discoloration we call it here, has the lyric booklet with it. I've sold these here at auction for sometimes as much as 100 plus, depending on how bad somebody wants it. But this is the ultimate Billy Joel's Greatest Hits comp, especially for Volume 1, all of his early main hits. This is a $65 start. 2LP Japanese pressing with the book. Final call on Foreigner, $33. We have 21 Pilots Trench. 21 Pilots Trench, and this is $36.99. The condition is near mint. There was no condition notes on that one. Near mint. 21 Pilots Trench is $36.99. That's sold to Mike Massey. Kiss World, the best of Kiss, $39.99 for Kiss World, the best of Kiss, $39.99. Once again, one of the greatest sounding records ever pressed, Fleetwood Mac Rumors. It's one of the greatest albums ever made, but this exact pressing is made at Palace in Germany. 2LP, 45 RPM, $59.99. Gorillaz, $31.99. That's their self-titled album, Gorillaz, $31.99. Skid Row, Last copy we have left, $39.99. That's on blue vinyl. And Lost Highway soundtrack, $49.99. $49.99. Lost Highway, $49.99. Let's go ahead and sell Foreigner 4. That's sold to Shane Berry. Shane, you get Foreigner for $33. Billy Joe, Brent Rabley's in at $65. And then Chip Hall wants a Fleetwood Mac Palace. That's sold to Chip Hall. And Randy wants I'll get that pulled for you, Randy. That's sold to Chip Hall. Let's go ahead and pull Gorillas for James Bragg. Let's pull Tracy Miller, a Lost Highway, and Michael Harara, a Skid Row. Brent Rabley's the high bidder on Billy Joel, Greatest Hits for $65. Let's pull that Ray Wiley Hubbard for Randy Davis. That's sold to him. And next LP in here is Rush, 2112. I kind of hyped that one up last night saying, if you've never listened to 2112 with the lyrics in front of you, that's an experience. $36.99. And Green Day Dookie. Green Day is $28.99 for Green Day Dookie. Final call on Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. Next, Japanese pressing. Let's see what we got here. I might sell these as a pair. Let me see if I can find a matching set. This looks pretty close. So the next thing in my bin is some Beatles comps. I'm going to try to sell these together as a set. See, this is a UK. If you notice, these UK, there's US flag and UK flag series, and then they're all numbered. This is number 14 and 15, obviously, for 62 to 66 and 67 to 70. So let's get this started where we can have lots of interest, which is both of them for a $65 start. Let's show the 62 to 66 first. $65 start for both of them. This one, I believe, is near mint and pristine. Very nice cover. This has the poster with it. This has the lyric book with it. This has the discography book with it. And then both. Wow, those are very bright inner sleeves with all the lyrics as well. So there's volume 1, 62 to 66, both LPs, near mint and pristine. And volume 2, we have a condition note on volume 2. It says edge wear. I think up here at the top. That's about the only thing negative I can say about this one. It does have some edge wear at the top. So you're buying both of them, both volumes, both LPs there are near mint and pristine. This one comes with the discography book. This one comes with the lyric book. There's both inner sleeves as well. And not a bad cover. Not a bad cover as well, just as nice as the other one. So that's both volumes of those, $65 start. Okay, so back up to the top. James Bragg wants a Green Day. Anybody else? Those are $28.99 for Green Day. The Beatles, $65, $75, $75, $85. I've been looking for a Less Than Zero soundtrack. We auctioned off one last night. Billy Joel is sold to Brent Rabley for $65. And the Beatles is now in slot number 1. Zachary Franklin has that for $85. That's pretty much a complete set of those two. Okay, let's see here. Did we auction one of these last night? Maybe. Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. Here's another one if you missed out on that one. Just a $25 start. Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. That's a $25 start. There's the Japanese lyric insert. There's the very nice near mint cover of Obi. Adam and the Ants, King of the Wild Frontier, or Kings. It's Kings of the Wild Frontier. $25 start on that one. Back to the crate. Kanye West, Late Registration, $41.99. That's a 2LP, new and sealed. Minor Threat, the singles, or the first singles, I think they call that one, $26.99. King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King. King Crimson. That is a 200-gram remaster, $36.99. Queensryche Empire, 2LP clear vinyl for Queensryche Empire. This is $39.99 for Queensryche Empire. $39.99. Killers, Direct Hits. There's some good stuff on here. I like the Killers, $49.99. Mr. Brightside, somebody told me all these things that I've done when you were young. I have 2 copies of this. One sealed and one open, $49.99. Tom Petty, Heartbreakers, Into the Great Wide Open. Into the Great Wide Open. What some amazing music. Also Learning to Fly on there. That sounds fantastic on vinyl, $36.99. David Eberly wants a Queensryche Empire. Final call on the Beatles comps. We have Zachary Franklin at $85 on both of those. 2 near mint Beatles comps, $85. What a deal. That's a deal. I'm still calling that a deal right now. The last copy, we sold one from the last crate. Here is truly our last copy of the Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan, $36.99. U2 Octung Baby, they announced they're doing a residency in Las Vegas. They're doing an anniversary tour for this album, and it's good if you like 90s U2. That is The Fly, Mysterious Ways, Ultraviolet, I Love Even Better Than the Real Thing, One, Zoo Station. Tanner, looks like we got some possibly Middle Eastern spam on our feed right now. So I'll let you give them the axe. Crosby, Stills, and Nash is $34.99. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, amazing. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, $34.99. That's the newest restock of that, $34.99. Andrew Policino wants a Stevie Ray Vaughan Essentials. That's sold to Andrew. All right. Also, Brent Rabley, you're out on Adam and the Ants. Arthur has that for $26. We're going to go ahead and sell the Beatles for $85. Tanner, that's a lot of content, so I'll let you reassemble that. That's a bunch, but both of those are sold for $85. That is sold to Arthur Maldondo for $26. Adam and the Ants is on his final call. Brent, you're out. And then James Bragg wants an Octung Baby. And Tracy, those are $49.99. U2 Octung Baby, $49.99. As featured in the Super Bowl commercial. $49.99. Anybody else on that crate right there? Here's what's left. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, U2, Tom Petty, The Killers, King Crimson, Minor Threat, Kanye West, Green Day Dookie, Rush 2112, Fleetwood Mac, The Palace Pressing, and Kiss World, The Best of Kiss. Arthur, you're out on Adam and the Ants. Brent has that for $30. Brent has that for $30. Okay, that leaves me to put up our next Japanese auction, which is going to be another near mint and pristine Eagles pressing, and I'm starting this one as well at just $25. And we've talked before about how hard it is to get a pristine copy, a U.S. version of the Long Run, because it's a black cover. It shows a lot of wear. This one's very nice. Has the lyric insert with it. Near mint pristine vinyl. There's the lyric insert. $25 start on that. Eagles, the Long Run. $25 start. Okay, Brian C's in. Brent's at $30. Arthur's out. So final call on Adam and the Ants. And Joseph wants a U2 Octung Baby. Joseph wants a U2 Octung Baby. Let me grab our next crate of vintage stuff. Going to do that right this moment. And let me take a look in it first. Let's see. More Disney records. More Billie Holiday. Janis Joplin. Uh-oh. Is that what I think it is? Wow. I'll just leave that one in there. A couple surprises. Oh, wow. Yeah, that needs to go for auction. Young Frankenstein soundtrack. A couple Pink Floyds, or one Pink Floyd. I'll leave that in there. Yeah, another great selection of vintage stuff. Let's put this up here without me destroying anything. Okay, Eagles 25, Eagles 25. Totally forgot I had that Stevie. You can put it back. Andrew says he already has it, so we can put back Stevie. Eagles is getting bids, and I'm about to sell Adam and the Ants as soon as I walk back over here. I don't think there was any other bids. Brent Rabley has that for, Brent Rabley has that for $30. Young Frankenstein soundtrack, Mel Brooks, $25 start. Dialogue and music from the original soundtrack of Young Frankenstein, $25 start. A Mel Brooks film. Very nice vinyl, $25 start. Young Frankenstein. Jason says he'll take the Stevie. So did Jason Dobb. And Eagles is at 40. And Zachary, no, who got the Beatles? Zachary got the Beatles? Okay. There we go. Okay. I think we're caught up. If I've missed anything, let me know. Final call on the Eagles. Randy Davis has that at $40. Now 45. That was a steal. That was a steal. You got a good deal. I think I've sold a lot to a lot of people, but Probably the cheapest I'll sell a pair for in a long time. This is $19.99. What do we have here? Junior, move your feet. Junior who? Senior? Junior, senior, move your feet. The Smash UK hit, move your feet. Junior, senior. That's $19.99. Young Frankenstein's at $45. The Eagles is now at $50. Kenny Rogers, 10 years of gold. Kenny Rogers is $9.99. 10 years of gold. Crosby and Nash. David Crosby, rest in peace. And Graham Nash, who just came out with a new single today. $19.99. Bruce Springsteen, Darkness on the Edge of Town. Bruce Springsteen is $19.99. And Born in the USA. This is the full album. $24.99. Original inner sleeve. Born in the USA. $24.99. And Pizza Inn presents Tijuana Party. Interesting. Pizza Inn presents Tijuana Party, the nation's fastest growing pizza chain. Looks like a promotional record from Pizza Inn. $24.99. And Tommy Two-Tone, $24.99. This has 8675309 on it. Genie, $24.99. Funny Bone Favorites, as seen on TV. 18 original hits, 18 original stars. That is $19.99. Okay, let's see here. Randy Davis is at 50 on the Eagles. That's going twice, going three times. Young Frankenstein, 41, 45, 45. Kyle Morgan wants junior, senior. That was this one right here. That's sold to Kyle Morgan. James Bragg's out on the Eagles. Josh Ragland wants Born in USA. And Tanner, that one was not stickered. It's $24.99 though. Brian C. was second. Do y'all know have a Pizza Inn in Tennessee? I've never heard of Pizza Inn. Eddie Pasir on Funny Bone, FB. And Young Frankenstein's at 48, and Greg Stone was next to Funny Bone. I don't know many Pizza Inns. Do you, Tanner? Pizza Inn? That's new to me. I know Pizza Hut. I've ate way too many times at, what's the name of the buffet place? I've drawn a blank. Well, I've ate at Bellacino's too. CC's Pizza? The buffet? Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I leave there, I'm in pain. I'm like cramping. I have to somebody has to help me get out of the booth. Those cinnamon rolls, oh my gosh. Okay, Dean Martin, Houston, in shrink wrap, a perfect copy with hop sticker. That is $9.99. Dean Martin, Sitting on Top of the World, is $9.99. And Dean Martin, Everybody Loves Somebody, that is $9.99. So, Young Frankenstein, we had a $48 bid, then we had a $50 bid, and then we had another $50 bid. And let's see here. Pam Dickens, you were first to Dean Martin. You've got several to pick from. Everybody Loves Somebody, Sitting on Top of the World, and Houston. Your pick on that. Let's see here. We have Heart, Babe Lestrange, $19.99 for Heart. And Little River Band, First Under the Wire, $9.99. Village People, Live and Sleazy, $19.99 for Village People, Live and Sleazy. And Richard Pryor, The Wizard of Comedy, for adults only, $14.99. And Jim Croce, I Got a Name, a German pressing. Any German pressing Jim Croce I've ever listened to has sounded phenomenal. Let me go ahead and end these auctions before I start pulling anything. Randy Davis is going to get the Eagles for $50. Let me give everybody an update on Young Frankenstein. The high bidder I see is Paul Brothers. He was in first at 50. So Tracy, you're out at 50. And then Pam Dickens got Dean Martin, and Pam wants all of them. So Pam Dickens got 1, 2, 3, all three Dean Martins. And then Michael Nath was first to Hart. And then Brandon Jackson was first to Richard Pryor. And Pam Dickens was first to JG. That was maybe something already sold. And then I think we're caught up. Maybe she meant JC for Jim Croce. We'll see. So Paul Brothers has the high bid on Young Frankenstein at 50. And that's a final call. That's a final call because Tracy said out. Next is a Japanese pressing of the Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. I've got to start this one at 35. It is pristine, though. UK Flag Series number 30. The Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. This is near mint and pristine. Looks unplayed. There's the booklet that came with it with lyrics. There's a Japanese inner sleeve, almost like a solicitation as well. And the cover on this one is immaculate, including the obi. Has original gloss on it, both of them. That is a $35 start for the Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. Pam Deakins did want Jim Croce. Okay, Brian C's in on the Beatles, 35. If I've missed any comments, let me know. Al, I don't want to say his last name. AJ, $9.99. The Best of Bread, Volume 2. This is $14.99. Has Guitar Man on it. That's probably my favorite Bread song. Secrets of Successful, Varmint Calling. Wow. What is this? This is like a, you can listen to this, and it's a Game Calls record. Johnny Stewart, $24.99. 1967 with this booklet. Success of Varmint Calling. It will train you how to attract, looks like wild coyotes and bobcats. And then you can do whatever you want to with them. Take them in as pets, shoot them, sell them. $24.99. The Beatles is at $35. Let's Sell Young Frankenstein to Paul Brothers for $50. The Varmint Calling record was $24.99. Beatles is going twice, going 3 times for $35. And Pink Floyd, The Final Cut, $44.99. Nice copy. Very nice jacket. $44.99. Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. And Chicago 17, $9.99. Music from the original music from the film Fanny Hill, 1999. Fanny Hill, 1999. The Exorcist soundtrack, $29.99. Music excerpts from The Exorcist, $29.99. Getz and Gilberto, this is $39.99. Getz and Gilberto, $39.99. Does have, what's going on up here? Is there something wrong with the jacket, or is that an insert? Oh, it's got some kind of, it's got newspaper clippings with it. Looks like somebody clipped out a magazine article, and it has a newspaper article from when he died. That's pretty interesting. June, it's from New York Times Obituaries, June 8th, 1991. That is $39.99. Getz and Gilberto. Andy Wade wants the Exorcist soundtrack. See if I can get this back in here. Let's see. Andy Wade on the Exorcist soundtrack. Let's Sell Brian C. The Beatles for $35. And let's put up 2 new Japanese auctions. I've got LP number 1 and LP number 2. Let's see. Can we pull what we sold the last Eagles one of these nights for? This one here, because I've got another one. I'll make it a buy it now for somebody. How much? 41, okay. First, we'll do Hotel California first. Hotel California, we'll do this one for a $30 start. $30 start on Hotel California. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. We have an insert with it. Has a stain on it there. And the cover, it has some foxing on the front, but you really can't tell because of the color of the cover. And the back really has no wear on it. That's a nice Japanese pressing, though, especially for the vinyl. That's a $30 start. Joe Wallace is in. And whoever wants this, comment Eagles, $40 buy it now. We sold one just a moment ago for $41. Eagles one of these nights, $40 buy it now. If you want this, just comment Eagles. Just Eagles, and I'll sell that to you for $40. The Early Beatles is $29.99. This is an original Capitol compilation. Apple label, $29.99. We have 2 bids on this one, 30 and 30, and Scott Corcoran wants this one for $40. That's sold to Scott Corcoran. Elvis in person at the International Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada. That's a black RCA label reissue, $14.99 for Elvis Live. Blue 6, Beautiful Tomorrow. Blue 6, Beautiful Tomorrow from 2002, $79.99. Scott Corcoran also gets Elvis. That's sold to Scott Corcoran. Kraftwerk, Computer World, a 1981 Jacksonville press, $49.99. Kraftwerk, Computer World, $49.99. Brent's the high bid on Eagles at $35. Joe Wallace, you're out. Daniel Bedingfield, got to get through this. $59.99 from 2002. Toby Grimm, first to KG. That was he probably meant KW for Kraftwerk. We'll lay that up here in pending. Sold to Toby Grimm, KG. Coco Rosie, La something, La Maison de Monrive. I don't know. 2004 pink vinyl, $34.99. Toby did want Kraftwerk. Roger Ramjet, you were second. Bedhead is $129.99. That's sealed from 1994. Bedhead. I don't know what that is either. Next Japanese auction. What do we have here? Prince. $35 start. I say only a $35 start. Prince, Around the World in a Day. Near mint Japanese vinyl. There's the LP. There's the Japanese insert. We have the cover, which flips open like this. Has this little flap to it. It's very nice with Obi. $35 start. Hotel California, final call. Brent Hall's at $35. Will the circle be unbroken? No, it's sealed from 1985, $74.99. That is sealed, $74.99. Janis Joplin in concert, $34.99 for Janis Joplin in concert. And Glenn Frey from the Eagles, the all-nighter. Glenn Frey is $19.99. James Bragg's in on Prince at $35. The History of the Real Billie Holiday, $29.99. The History of the Real Billie Holiday, $29.99. Walt Disney's Story of Swiss Family Robinson. Hey, I've read that. $19.99. Swiss Family Robinson, $19.99. And The Story of Heidi, another Disney record, $24.99 for The Story of Heidi. And Walt Disney Presents The Story of Robin Hood, $19.99 for Robin Hood. Linda Ronstadt, Different Drum, that is $14.99. This has some music with the Stone Ponies, which is my favorite works of her, $14.99. And last two, we have The Best of Carly Simon, $9.99. And Roberta Flack, Blue Lights in the Basement, is $19.99. Okay, Prince is at $35. Let's go ahead and sell Brent Hall, the Eagles, for $35. That's what Prince is at. That's with James Bragg going twice, going three times. Brent said Chad's flying tonight. Am I? Am I flying tonight, Tanner? Robert Johnson's first to Billie Holiday. Michael Nath is second. Susie Breedlove first to the Robin Hood soundtrack. Jacob wants to know the Janis Joplin price again. The Janis Joplin is $34.99. That's a 2LP official Columbia Press. $34.99 if you want that, Jacob. Susie passes on Robin Hood. Never mind. So let me put that back in the crate. I'm taking it out of the stack. Debbie Blair first to Linda Ronstadt. Michael Nath first to Roberta Flack. That's sold to Michael Nath. And Andy Wade wants the Best of Carly Simon. Jason Dobb is in on Prince at $40. That's some good records still left in there. Prince is at $40. Jacob Smith said he'll take Janis Joplin. Let me run another Japanese pressing. We have a Japanese pressing of, let me see what's left in the crate first. Okay, we didn't have this earlier in the, Hall & Oates bundle, so here it is again. Hall & Oates, or here it is by itself, Hall & Oates Big Bam Boom. I'll start this one at just $20. Near mint Japanese pressing. Whoever bought the bundle, you might want to consider this one. Near mint Pristine LP. There's an insert. There's another insert with lyrics, and this is a pristine copy. Hall & Oates, $20 start on that. Prince is at $40, $42, and $44. James C. Jones is at $20 on Hall & Oates. Now, that leaves me to run through these titles one more time. We have Robin Hood, Heidi, Swiss Family Robinson, 3 Disney records there. Glenn Frey, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, Bedhead, Coco Rosie, Daniel Bedingfield, Blue Six, Beautiful Tomorrow. The early Beatles comp, Getz and Gilberto with the newspaper clippings. Fanny Hill soundtrack, Chicago 17. Nicholas Elfrink, I just seen somebody comment that. Yeah, Nicholas wants the final cut. Hall & Oates 2020, 22, 25. Prince is at 45. Hall & Oates is 21. Susie Breedlove wants Swiss Family Robinson. Sell that to Susie Breedlove. Swiss Family Robinson. How much was Coco Rosie? Nicholas Lockhart. Coco Rosie was $34.99. That was pressed in 2004 on pink vinyl. Coco Rosie, $34.99. Hall & Oates is at 26. And I'll take the Pizza Inn off your hands for $18. Let me find that one. Pizza Inn, Tijuana Party. Sure. Sell that to Jimmy Souls or Solace, or I think I say Souls sometimes. I want to put that I after the O, but that's Solace. Jimmy Solace, that's sold to you for $18. The Secrets of Success, Varmint Calling. Can't believe nobody bought that. No hunters in here. The Best of Bread, Volume 2, AJ. I'm never going to say that last name again. Village People, Little River Band, Tommy Two-Tone, Bruce Springsteen. That sounded really country right then. Crosby and Nash and Kenny Rogers. Please put the Ghost soundtrack back. Craig wants to put the Ghost soundtrack back. Okay, I think there's somebody second on that. It's not the full soundtrack, but it has 4 tracks on it. So it's not just a single. It is a single, but it's like a sampler, I guess. It's got 4 tracks on it. So it's kind of like not the full album, but it's not just 1 track either. So that's what's going on that. All right, high bid on Prince. James Bragg has this for $45. Going twice, going 3 times. Going twice, going 3 times. Hall & Oates is at $27 with David Howard. That's going once, going twice. Anybody else want anything in this crate? Let me know. It's pronounced Solis. Okay, Solis. Solis. So, Craig, do you want this or not? If you want it, say, it's got 4 tracks on it. It's 2 LPs, 4 tracks from what I'm seeing. It's also a promo copy. Demonstration, not for sale. So let me know if you do want that. And then Tim Holloway says Tommy Two-Tone for $19.99. Sell that to Tim Holloway for $19.99. Hall & Oates is at $28. James C. Jones. Hall & Oates $28. Craig does not want this. Does anybody want the Ghost soundtrack for $19.99? $19.99. And final call on Prince. Let me grab a new crate of something to go through. I'm going to condense these over here. Let me actually put these in this crate. Well, I'll move them over here. We'll do it that way. Brent Hall says, I do. Sell the Ghost soundtrack to Brent Hall then. $19.99. All right, let me move these over here in this other crate. And let's go through some new vinyl. An empty crate. That's our favorite thing to see. All right. Let's go through this. It's pronounced Al Jarreau. Psh, that's not even close. Okay. Varmint Calling for $20. You've got it. Sell that to Paul Brothers for $20. James Bragg gets Prince for $45. And Hall & Oates is... James C. Jones has this for $28. Final call. Final call. Final call. Next Japanese auction is the Beatles love songs. Somebody pay attention. You may end up getting a deal. This is a really nice Beatles comp. It is called Love Songs. I'm going to put this one up for just a $35 start. 2 LP, near mint and pristine vinyl. This is a Beatles comp on 2 LP. There's LP number 1. There's LP number 2. There is the lyric booklet. This lyric booklet has a little bit of wear to it. And the cover is really nice. Kind of faux leather cover. And this foiling, gatefold, $35 start on that. Okay. And Hall & Oates is sold to James C. Jones for $28. I think he got the lot earlier too. That's sold for $28. Beatles Love Songs, a $35 start. 2 LP compilation, great track listing on that. And next Japanese pressing is REO Speedwagon, Good Troubles. Just a $20 start on that. Just a $20 start on REO Speedwagon, Good Trouble. Just a $20 start. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. It has the lyric insert with it, and the covers and shrink wrap with hype sticker. No Obi with this one. It came with a sticker. $20 start on that. The Obi's not missing. I think that one just came with that sticker. Okay. Let me get these where I can stand them up straight. Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin. This is pressed at RTI. Cheap Thrills. Great album. $31.99 with the crumb artwork on the front. Weezer, the Blue Album, $33.99. This one has Say It Isn't So and one of my favorites, Buddy Holly, on it. That is $33.99 for the Weezer Blue Album. We have Blondie Live, $33.99 for Blondie Live, 2 LP. Doing a lot of the hits on there. $33.99 for Blondie Live. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. $28.99. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. Dream On, Same Old Song and Dance, Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, Back in the Saddle, Come Together. $28.99. The Beatles Live at the Hollywood Bowl. This is the Beatles Live, companion album to the Ron Howard film. That is $36.99. The Beatles is at $40 with Rich Hopkins. The Beatles is at $40 with Rich Hopkins, and James Bragg has REO Speedwagon for $20. Just $20 on that. Plenty of copies, although we knock 2 or 3 out a night, it seems like, sometimes 10 a night. The Cult Sonic Temple, 30th Anniversary 2LP. That is $39.99. James Bragg wants a copy of Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. Aerosmith Pump is $36.99. We have 2 of those left. Chicago's Greatest Hits, $31.99. Great stuff, Just You and Me. Saturday in the Park, 25 or 624. I've been searching so long. Color My World, Wishing You Were Here. Feeling Stronger Every Day. Does anybody really know what time it is? Make Me Smile, Call on Me, and of course, Beginnings. I have 2 of those, $31.99. Tracy Miller wants Big Brother and the Holding Company. That's so did Tracy Miller. Brent Hall's back in on the Beatles at $42. Final Call on REO Speedwagon. Adele 25. Adele 25 is $29.99. The Bee Gees Timeless All-Time Greatest Hits, $41.99. This has their early stuff from the late 60s all the way up through the Saturday Night Fever era. $41.99 for the Bee Gees. Coldplay Ghost Stories, $31.99. We have 2 copies of Blues Travelers. Actually, we got 3 copies. Blues Travelers, Travelers, and Thieves. And this is on a medieval marbled vinyl. $49.99 for Blues Traveler. Adele 19 is $29.99. Black Label Society. I got to reorder the other ones, but we had a lot of interest in this one. Doom Crew Inc. Doom Crew Inc. is $39.99. I have 2 of those left. Forrest Gump soundtrack, 32 hits, 32 tracks, $36.99. The Beatles Love, very cool record, $56.99 for the Beatles Love. And Metallica Garage Inc. That's a triple LP, $54.99. This week we got a restock of Led Zeppelin 3. I was out of them. Looks like we sold at least 1 today in the store, $31.99. And Slipknot, The Gray Chapter. Slipknot, this is $36.99. Darren, I have not found that Motorhead yet, but we have it wrote down. Stephen Tuttle wants Blues Traveler. Sell that to Stephen Tuttle. Final Call on the Beatles at $42 since Rich is out. We're going to sell REO Speedwagon to James Bragg for $20. My next $20 start is Kim Carnes' Voyeur, or Voyeur. I guess that's Voyeur, right? Or Voyeur, one of the 2. Kim Carnes, $20 start on that. Near mint, pristine, Japanese pressing with inserts. Final Call on the Beatles at $42. Any Coldplay Rush of Blood. I don't know if we have that one or not. We had that not too long ago, but honestly, I don't know if we have them anymore. Jason, if it's okay, I'll take down your name, and I bet I can find one of those pretty soon. I've got some vinyl behind the counter, some stuff from, I don't think we showed last night. Let me go grab that. Oh, I got new vinyl that I haven't shown yet. I've got new vinyl here I hadn't shown yet. Let me do that crate first. Just a few titles in here. But y'all need to be aware that we've got them in stock. Let's put Jason down for Coldplay, Rush of Blood to the Head. Or Rush of Blood. I don't think it's Blood to the Head. I think it's Rush of Blood. It might be. I can't remember the full title of that one, but I don't know what he's talking about. No, we had it this week, but I don't know if we have any left. Okay. First, there were some random restocks where I've ordered so many of these. Sometimes we get them in 1s, 5s. But just so you know, especially if you're watching for the first time, we have a lot of Rush albums in stock, which a few months ago, if somebody told me that, I'd say you're crazy. We have Signals, which they just announced an anniversary box set for this coming out this year. That's $36.99. Rush Hemispheres is $36.99. And we have Rush Power Windows. We have other albums as well. Don't ask for anything pressed in the 90s or 2000s. I don't have them. But I do have all the 70s and 80s stuff, at least most of it. $36.99. This is a new repress of Pussifer Money Shot. This is $39.99. I had about 4 or 5 people pre-order this. This exact version, just the standard, was out of stock for a while. This is $39.99. They were kind of pricey too, so this is like a new repress of that. $39.99 Pussifer Money Shot. Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder, Fantastic. $49.99 for Pink Floyd Delicate Sound of Thunder. I have 1, 2, 3 of those. 4. One copy of Beck Guro. Beck Guro is $33.99. And Iron Maiden Flight 666. I thought this was out of print. We got more of them in. Iron Maiden Flight 666, the original soundtrack. That is $36.99. Kyle Morgan wants a Power Windows. Kyle, I'll make sure you get a Power Windows. I'm tagging you right now. Tracy Miller, Pussifer. I don't know. Let's set one aside for Tracy, and then we need to check on that for Tracy. I'm not real for sure. James Bragg gets an Iron Maiden. So does Darren Wortman. Those are sold and sold. And let's go ahead and end the Beatles love songs to Brent Hall for $42. That is $42. Right after I bought an OG, a reissue was announced. Yep, these weren't cheap at all. I'm surprised I didn't pre-sell more than I did. You know, we had that Reload or whatever, but I think that's like an alternate album. I'm not real for sure. I don't know a lot about Pussifer except that we sell a lot of it. That is $39.99. Bob McKinney wants a Signals and a Hemispheres. There's a Signals and there's a Hemispheres for Bob McKinney. Sold and sold. Does anybody want Kim Carnes for $15? No activity for $20. I have sold every Japanese record in this crate except for a few Beatles comps, and we'll do those at sometime. I'm about to go grab an entire another crate. Does anybody want this? Don't leave Kim hanging. $15. James Bragg takes it for $15. So this crate included Iron Maiden Flight 666, Beck Guro, Pink Floyd Delicate Sound of Thunder, Pussifer, and then Rush Power Windows. But we also have Moving Pictures 2112, Hold Your Fire, there's a waiting list for Fly By Night. And Michael Harrar also wants a 666. I can't say that too many more times. They're like, the lights are going to start flickering. James Bragg on Pussifer. I have 4 of those left. 4 of those left. Anybody else on anything in that crate? I'm going to condense that stuff over here with this one. That last crate I just showed. We're all of a sudden like low stock on crates again. I can't believe it. We just ordered an entire pallet of them. Tanner says I got to sell records faster. Whew. All right. Let me go drink an energy drink. Slipknot from last crate. That was the gray chapter for John Duran. John Duran. Got it. All right. Now, behind the counter, let me go over there and get that crate. I think. Or let me see what's in this one. Did I go through this one already? I've been through that one. Let me walk over here and get this one. I got another crate behind the counter. Yeah. Not working. Oh, yeah, we got it. They just charged me the other night. More new vinyl or more new vintage vinyl. I think this has some oddities in it. Some stuff that you may have to be like waiting on me to figure out what it is. Love Songs is sold. Yep. Now, let me show a few in here and then I'll go get more Japanese stuff. Hymn to the Immortal Wind by Mono, $44.99. Ted Leo, Pharmacist, Hearts of Oak, $134.99. Reverence to Stone, $19.99. Against Me. I can't make out the rest of it. Here we go. Transgender Dysphoria Blues, $49.99. Against Me, 2014. Sealed. Elf Power, A Dream in Sound, $49.99 from $19.99, and it has the single with it. Beat Happening, Look Around, $39.99, 2015. Sealed. And Gling Glow, Bjork, Something and Something Something, $49.99, $19.99 UK. Meisel Quintino, $17.99. I see a Linda Ronstadt album. That means I'm getting close. I see light at the end of the tunnel. Flux Uncarved Block, $24.99 from the UK. Fruit, $139.99. FROOT, Marina and the Diamonds, $139.99. Chris Knox Seizure, sealed from 2015, $24.99. Linda Ronstadt, hand sewn, $19.99 for Linda Ronstadt. Sissy Spacek, Hanging Up My Heart, $14.99. Linda Ronstadt silk purse, $19.99 in shrink wrap. Dusty Springfield's Golden Hits, $19.99, has some seam splits on it, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now this is a Bond soundtrack you don't see every day. $19.99 on Her Majesty's Secret Service. The Secret Policeman's Concert, that's Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Sting, Phil Collins, Bob Geldof, and Donovan. 1982 French pressing, has some cover damage. Vinyl is near mint, no condition notes on it. Near mint and clean, $19.99. Roger Ramjet, first on silk purse by Linda Ronstadt. John Mayall, The Blues Alone, $29.99. John Mayall, The Blues Alone, that is $29.99. Let me go grab another bin of Japanese vinyl right quick in the back. Does anybody need a Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits? Alrighty. Let's see. All right, I've brought up another bin of Japanese vinyl, and we're not going anywhere until it's all sold. So I hope everybody's ready. Let's see here. Okay. Next Japanese auction. David Bowie Tonight. A bargain of a start, $30. David Bowie Tonight. Near mint pristine Japanese vinyl. There's the Japanese insert, and there's the cover with the obi. That's a $30 start. David Bowie Tonight, $30 start. John Mayall was $29.99, and Fred Carnell, The Secret Policeman, was $19.99. The Who, Magic Bus and My Generation, that's a 2-in-1. That's a 2-in-1 pack of Magic Bus and My Generation. Those are not easy albums to get. This was pressed in 1974. Near mint, $34.99. $34.99. Michael Nath said he'd give $25 for the Mayall. Sell that to Michael Nath. Ed Nelson's at $35 on David Bowie. The next Japanese auction is going to be Hendrix in the West. I'm going to start this for $15. This is a Japanese pressing of Hendrix in the West. Near mint, pristine Japanese vinyl. No condition notes on it. It has the inner sleeve. No obi, and it does have a little bit of edge wear up here on the top and on the spine. Just a $15 start on Hendrix. That is a Japanese press. Ed Nelson has David Bowie for $35. The Who is $34.99. Elf Power, Walking with the Beggar Boys, $29.99 for Elf Power. Hey Mercedes EP. Hey Mercedes EP from 2000. That's $24.99. Act on Instinct. Act on Instinct. Is that what that says? Something Life. $14.99. The Who Sellout is sealed. That's a 1988 UK press. $34.99. The Who Sellout. $34.99. That's sealed. Eric Burdon and the Animals, The Twine Shall Meet, $19.99 for Eric Burdon and the Animals. The Allman Brothers, Enlightened Rogues. The Allman Brothers is $19.99. Enlightened Rogues, $19.99. Supertramp, Famous Last Words. Supertramp is $19.99. Nicholas Elfrink wants The Who. I'm assuming you want the Sellout album. Black Sabbath, Live Evil. Wow. Black Sabbath, Live Evil, $64.99. This is a 2 LP. It is near mint, Ronnie James Dio, $64.99. Black Sabbath Live Evil. Jacob Smith was first to the Allman Brothers, and Michael Nath was first. He passes on Sabbath, and Roger Ramjet was second. This is $64.99, Tanner. $64.99 on that one. Roger Ramjet, and then Jason Dobb was third. Let's go ahead and sell David Bowie for $35 to Ed Nelson. Does anybody want Jimi Hendrix for $15? A Japanese press. This is now a buy it now. Hope everybody's awake. Jimi Hendrix is a $15 buy it now. I'm sure somebody's going to grab that. And Little River Band's Greatest Hits. That's a sealed copy. Sealed for $24.99. Sealed for $24.99. Craig Thomas gets Jimi Hendrix for $15. That's sold to Craig Thomas. Next auctions. I think we had one of these last night. Here's another one. And here's a Bruce Springsteen box set. The Rolling Stones, Love You Live. Didn't we have one last night, but I don't think it had an Obi. Here's one with an Obi. Just a $25 start. The Rolling Stones, Love You Live. There's both near mint LPs. There's the original inner sleeves that came with them. Cover with Obi. That's not foxing. That's part of it. This is actually a really nice cover. Love You Live. Just a $25 start on that. That's our next auction. Jimi Hendrix went to Craig, Michael, Robbie, and Brent was next on that. Ed is in on the Rolling Stones at $25. And we're going to get this started where somebody has to bid on it. Bruce Springsteen live box set, a Japanese press, $35 start. $35 start. There's the box. There's the booklet. Wow, it's got a lot of content with it. There's another booklet. I think that's the US version. That's the Japanese insert. 5 LPs, 5 inner sleeves. This does not have an Obi with it, though. Let me make sure there's not one in the box. No Obi with it. Just the box. But that is near mint, pristine. Can't say anything else about it. Stephen Chesney was first to Little River Band, the sealed copy. The Rolling Stones, Ed Nelson has that for $25. Bruce, $35, and now $40. That's up for bid. Andrew has it for $40. Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield. This has the theme for the Exorcist soundtrack on it. $14.99 for Tubular Bells. Simon & Garfunkel's Greatest Hits, a U.S. press. Perfect copy. $14.99 on Simon & Garfunkel. Snow Patrol, Don't Give In. Snow Patrol, Don't Give In. That is sealed. $14.99. I was about to say we have some Japanese spam, but that's Craig just sharing the track listings. My bad. That is not spam. 35, 45, 45. Brian C. on Tubular Bells. That's sold to Brian C. John Stevens is at 30 on the Rolling Stones. Fred Carnell first on Snow Patrol. And Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation. This is an OG copy. $29.99 for Permanent Vacation. $29.99. Eagles, On the Border. $34.99 for the Eagles, On the Border. Nice copy. U.S. press. Foreigner, Head Games, $19.99. Also has Dirty White Boy on it. Foreigner, that's $19.99 for Head Games. And Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart, $19.99 for Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart. Near mint, pristine Japanese pressing. 38 Special, Special Forces, $24.99. So Caught Up in You, $24.99. And 38 Special Tour de Force, $22.99. I'll sell both of those for $40 if anybody wants both of them. Okay, back up to the top. Rolling Stones is at 30. Ed Nelson's back in at 35. Final call on Bruce Springsteen. Tom Dearlove has that for 45. Tom Dearlove has that for 45. Ed has Rolling Stones for 35. Michael Nath was first to the Stevie Nicks. And then Tom Steyer was second. Rob Long, you were first to 38 Special. Let me know if you want Tour de Force, Special Forces, or I said I'd sell both of those for 40. David Tate was first to Foreigner. We can go ahead and pull that for David Tate. John Stevens is back on the Rolling Stones at 37. And James said he would give 30 for The Who. Let's go ahead and sell that to James Cohorn for $30. That's that right there. And then he wants Rob Long. He's going to take both of those for $40. 20 and 20. Bob Seger, 9 Tonight, $29.99. And we have Live Bullet, 2 classic live albums, $29.99 each. Or $50 for both of them. I'm already cutting deals. Asia, self-titled, $19.99. And we have Louis Armstrong, A Remembrance. Louis Armstrong, $9.99. Is Aerosmith a club? Aerosmith is a U.S. OG. This is not a club. Really nice copy too, $29.99. All right, let's go ahead and sell the Bruce Springsteen box set. That's sold to Tom Dearlove for $45. The Rolling Stones high bid is now $37 with John Stevens. Ed Nelson, you're out. John Stevens has that for $37. Next is Creedence. Creedence is going to be a $30 start live in Europe. Let's make it a $25 start. Creedence live in Europe. I'm going to make sure we empty out this Japanese bin as well. Creedence live in Europe, $25 start. Near mint LPs. There's LP number 1, LP number 2. There's the lyric insert. It is ripped right there. The cover is very nice with Obi, gatefold. That's a live Creedence $25 start. Okay, let's see. Angela also asked Aerosmith 25. Brent said Aerosmith 25. Boy, this is such a... We don't get this one too often. That must be the... okay. Sell that to Brent Rabley for 25. He was first on that. Michael Nath gets Louis Armstrong. Asia is not a club pressing. Asia is a club pressing. Asia is a club pressing. $19.99. Asia self-titled. Craig, is Craig on your payroll? No, he's a volunteer. I have something I'm going to send him. I cleaned it, so now he knows what it is, but not exactly, and I'm going to mail it to him next week as a gift. I think it's he's going to like it. Ambrosia, $180. Ambrosia is $9.99. Bedhead, 4-song EP. Craig is a volunteer, $74.99, but he loves doing what he does, I think. Craig, at least I hope you love what you do. Hope he's not here like suffering, like got a headache. He's got his hand over his head, like beating his keyboard. Ted Leo, pharmacist, the tyranny of distance. Pharmacist, where's Seth at? We could sell him this record. $99.99. A Day to Remember, What Separates Me from You, $49.99. 2013 red vinyl. Let's see here. Jack's in at 25 on Creedence. Chad, did shirts go back for those left reviews last week's bag? They should have. If you hadn't got one, make sure you send us a message and we can tag it and try to get it out this week to you. Ed said Out on the Stone, so that's sold to John Stevens for $37. And Creedence is Final Call. Jack Suslak has the Creedence for $25. $25 to Jack Suslak. Oh my gosh. It's an Iron Maiden record. A Japanese press. Can't start this one for $20, but I will start it at $65. This is a near mint, pristine, Japanese pressing, perfect copy, near mint, Iron Maiden self-titled, their debut LP, has the insert with it, no Obi. Of course, this would immediately make it a $100 start if it had an Obi on it. I wouldn't take any less. Ed Nelson's in at $65. That's now up for bid. Final Call on CCR for $25. Here's what's left in this crate. A Day to Remember, Ted Leo and the Pharmacist, Bedhead, Ambrosia, Asia, Bob Seger, Eagles, Simon & Garfunkel, Supertramp, Eric Burden, and I'm not going to read through these, I don't know, Secret Policeman, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's $19.99. Dusty Springfield, Sissy Spacek, Linda Ronstadt, and then lots of other odd stuff that I'm not too familiar with. Ed Nelson's at 65 on Iron Maiden, going twice, going 3 times. Not going to leave that one up too long. Anybody else want anything in there? Let me know. Okay, let's see here. James Bragg wants ST, and Ed Nelson wants Asia. That's Supertramp and Asia. There's Asia, and there is Supertramp. Let's see. James Bragg, Supertramp, sold. Ed Nelson, Asia, sold. Bond was perfect. This Bond movie came out in 1969. This has George Lazenby. He appeared on one Bond film after Sean Connery announced he retired, and they offered him a heck of a contract to stay. He could have been probably the biggest movie star like Roger Moore of the 70s in the Bond films. He declined, said he didn't want to do another one. Sean Connery came back and made one film, and then Roger Moore stepped in. And then he was in all the Bond movies in the 70s and 80s. Well, 70s and early 80s. So kind of an obscurity. This has Louis Armstrong on it, I think. Yeah, this has Louis Armstrong. We Have All the Time in the World, which was just on the most recent Bond movie, No Time to Die. They brought that back in the ending credits. 1999, Grant. Firm price. Firm price. 1999. If not, I'll keep it. I think I already have 2 or 3 of those, but that's a nice looking copy. But if you want it, 1999. Was the warrant list explained tonight? I just got on, was out having a few. If you claimed a warrant on a pre-order, then you got one this week. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, Telly Savalas was Blowfield. That's right. Let's see here. Alex Roman, Grant says he'll take it. Okay. I can't discount too many Bond soundtracks. You know, this is like a... So, okay, that's sold to Grant Peltzer. Why did I lay Hendrix over here? That's our next Japanese auction. That is sold to Grant Peltzer at Sticker. Credence is sold for $25 to Jack Suslak, and Iron Maiden is sold for $65 to Ed Nelson. Okay, Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. Next Japanese auction. Low start, just $35. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, $35 start. This is near mint, pristine. Look at that. It is perfect. Has the Japanese insert with it. There's the original inner sleeve and the cover. Very nice. Very nice with Obi. Just a little bit of foxing on the back Obi. I mean, this is a very nice copy. Just a $35 start on that. There's the track list. That is now available for auction. $35 start. Next on the block is going to be another copy. What did this one just sell for? Rolling Stones, I can find it. Well, this one's, well, it's very similar. First one to comment, Rolling Stones can have this for $37. 2 LP. This one also looks very nice. $37, Rolling Stones. That's a buy it now. We just auctioned one of those. There's another one. 2 LP, inserts, Obi's inner sleeve. $35 start, or $37 buy it now. And for a $20 start, J. Giles Sanctuary. J. Giles Sanctuary. Near mint pristine. Vinyl, insert, cover, and Obi. $20 start on J. Giles. Michael Nath has Jimi Hendrix for $35. Rolling Stones is sold to Roger Ramjet for $37. All right, let me go through this crate of new vinyl I've got right over here. Scott Corcoran's in on Giles at 20. I don't know what's in here, but we're about to find out. Bill Toe, you were second on the Stones. Somebody needs to bid on Jimi Hendrix. Michael Nath probably wishes you wouldn't, but I think you should. Okay, first, let's talk about Pink Floyd for 15 seconds. Wish You Were Here. We have OGs come in occasionally. This is the remaster. I know it looks different because it's in a black jacket. This is the album artwork where the 2 guys are shaking hands and one of them's on fire. If you don't know Pink Floyd that well, that's this album, Wish You Were Here. This is $38.99. This is an amazing sounding remaster, especially for $38.99. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. I have a lot of those in stock. Right here in front of me, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 of them, $38.99. A couple weeks ago, Pantera reissued their catalog again, or repressed it on colored vinyl. This is Reinventing the Steel, $29.99 for Pantera. Danzig, Circles of Snakes. That is on clear vinyl. Danzig is $31.99. Circles of Snakes, that was a big seller for us. That's on clear vinyl. I think they pressed that in like 5 variants. That is $31.99. Final call on J. Giles for $20. Final calls on Jimi Hendrix for $35. Gloria wants a Pink Floyd. James Bragg wants a copy of Danzig. And those are sold and sold. And then, of course, I think it was yesterday, Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon turned 50 years old. Once again, I have no original copies of this album in stock that I can sell you. That's why I have about 50 of these in our inventory. $38.99. The Dark Side of the Moon, one of the greatest ever. $38.99. I have a lot of those. If nobody, or if anybody needs one of those. Social Distortion's Greatest Hits. Social Distortion. That can be a tongue twister. $44.99 for their greatest hits. We also have Leonard Skinner Live and Nebworth. I have sold a lot of these. 2 LP live with LP and DVD, $49.99. Jailbreak, Thin Lizzy. This was our first sale of the night. Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak, $36.99. The Boys Are Back in Town. 2 copies. Oh, 1 copy. Well, there's another one. David Bowie pinups. David Bowie pinups. Those are $29.99 for David Bowie pinups. Kevin Huffman's in on Jimi Hendrix at 36, but I am going to go ahead and sell Scott Corcoran, Jay Giles for 20. Sell that to Scott Corcoran for 20. Michael Nath, you're out on that one. John Lennon, next Japanese auction. This is Shaved Fish, which is a John Lennon compilation. This is just a $25 start. It's a John Lennon hits comp, near mint pristine Japanese vinyl. There's the original inner sleeve with lyrics. There's the Japanese insert, and the cover is also very nice of Obi. That's a $25 start for John Lennon. We got Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon up for bid. David Bowie, Nickelback, All the Right Reasons. Some people love it, some people hate it. Photograph, Far Away, Rockstar, If Everyone Cared. I would just say this, we've sold a lot of them. $29.99. Tool, Undertow. Tool was $34.99. And Candlebox, I still have the limited edition silver colored vinyl in stock. Silver colored vinyl, that is $59.99 for Candlebox, 2 LP. Johnny Burnett's Rock and Roll Trio. Like I've said before, good luck finding an original copy of this. Even the 45s are hard to find. Great music, including Honey Hush, early rock and roll, the roots of it. Stevie Ray Vaughan, In Step, is $38.99. And Rainbow, Live in Munich. Rainbow is $54.99. Live in Munich, $54.99. All right, Jimi Hendrix, Kevin's at $38. Let's see, John Lennon's a $25 start. Let's see here. Scott Corcoran said money back. I think that was, I don't know what that was. Jason Dobb wants Tool. Let's pull that for Jason Dobb. I still have some Tool box sets. Jimi Hendrix is sold to Kevin Huffman for $38. I'm looking for a $25 start on John Lennon. If anybody wants to bid, put JL 25. Chad, best price on Marina and the diamonds, if still available, make me buy it. Okay, give me 1 second on that. Let me find it. Next Japanese auction is Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. Oh, you're saying they need their money back if they bought a Nickelback? There's nothing wrong with Nickelback. The lowest I've ever started a Queen album, especially one that looks like this, $40 for Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. There is the Japanese insert. There's the Japanese insert. There is another Japanese insert. That's like a 2-page flip like poster. And then the insert, really nice cover with Obi. Queen, Sheer Heart Attack, $40 start. Brent Hall's in on John Lennon at $25. The Cars, Candy O, that's on clear vinyl, $29.99. Blues Traveler, Blow Up the Moon. Blues Traveler, $49.99. Kings of Leon, that is Only by the Night, $54.99. Only by the Night. Several hits on that one, $54.99. Venom, Black Metal, that's a 40th anniversary on silver and black splatter vinyl, $48.99. David Bowie, Earthling. I was looking at 90s hits last night, a 90s hits playlist. I go through hits playlists sometimes to remind myself of stuff to order. And there was a song on this album that was on a 90s, hits of the 90s playlist that was on iTunes. I don't recall the name of it, but that's $42.99 for David Bowie, Earthling. And Chris Stapleton's newest album, Starting Over, $42.99. $42.99. Andy Wade's at $41 on Queen. I have 2 people who are at $25 on John Lennon. Brent Hall was first, and that's going twice, going 3 times if no one else bids more than $25. Andy Wade has the high bid on Queen at $41. That's going twice, going 3 times. And I'm Afraid of Americans is on the Earthling. That's probably the hit on there, and Patrick Carter wants that one. Now, what's the Maria and Diamonds? Let me find that one from that last crate. Derek Hartman said, make me a deal on it. Let me figure out what I've done with that. Maria and the Diamonds. That must be in this crate right here. Maria and the Diamonds. Maria and the Diamonds. This one right here. Let's see. I'll do $120 on it. That is $20 off. First time showing it. I'm sure it'd bring what we have it stickered on Discogs. This is Fruit, and it includes the CD that originally came with it from 2015. $120. $120 on that. Next is Fred Carnell is at $42 on Queen. It's John Lennon, Shaved Fish. Panteras on colored vinyl, yes. We do have Tool Anima and 10,000 Days. Those have never been pressed on vinyl officially. Those have never been pressed on, well, let me rephrase that. Anima has, but just the OGs, and they're very expensive. I've sold one before for $800, $1,200, something like that. 10,000 Days has never been pressed on vinyl officially. Andy's at 43 on Queen. The Tool that was in here is $34.99, and then I have Tool Fear Inoculum box sets. I have Tool Fear Inoculum on box sets. James Cohorn wants a Pantera. James Cohorn on Pantera. So, let's see. I don't have 10,000 Days. I don't know. That is a unofficial. Never been pressed on vinyl. Okay, let me go through. Zachary Smith wants a Kings of Leon. All right, no one else has bid, so Brent Hall gets John Lennon for $25. Brent Hall gets John Lennon for $25. And they're now bidding on Queen. Fred Carnell has that for $45. Fred Carnell has that for $45. Thanks, man. Yeah. We'll see you. Fred has Queen for $45. Okay, let me find another crate of Japanese, or actually new vintage or vintage stuff to flip through in general. Let me find something over here. And my Fred cut out in the middle of the Tool. The only Tool album we have in stock is Undertow, and I think I have one more of those in our bins. If anybody's interested, they are $34.99 for Tool Undertow. Let me see what I've got in here. That's punk and hardcore music. I do, actually, there's a crate behind the counter back there, but I don't know if that's punk music for next Friday or if it's, I'm not for sure what it is. Let's go through this crate and make it a buy it now best offer. Looks like some pretty interesting stuff, some pretty good titles. We're probably going to go at least until 10 or 10:15 before we take a break. And let me go through this crate right here. This is some pretty recent stuff. This is some pretty recent stuff, but let me know what you, hold on a second. Maybe I shouldn't miss anything. Let me do a final call. Let me do a final call on Queen Sheer Heart Attack. That's a final call for $45 before I get back into a high-paced mode of running some more auctions. And I don't really know what's going on in the comments, but I'll let you know. What's our return policy? You can return anything if it's defective or you think we misgraded it or something like that. We do 100% guaranteed. Now, if you ever get a new LP, if you get something new and it's defective or messed up, we can get returns from our distributors, so we can definitely return that. If there's something vintage, pre-owned, if it's a check condition record, we like to say those are pretty firm because we're telling you that they're not in good grade. You know, it's VG, VG+. If you get something near mint or pristine from us and you're not happy with it, we missed something, it has a warp we didn't notice, we'll give you a refund, partial refund, whatever. But if you get something new and it's messed up, you can send it back to us, or you know, we can do a partial refund on that. But if we get it back, then we can send it back to the distributor, and then they'll give us money back because it was defective, and then they'll get it back from the label. It has to go through a lot of hands, but these $50 LPs, if there's something wrong with it, we definitely need to send it back. So, but also on new vinyl, we've had some people return some things recently here locally because it's a lot easier than having to mail something back, and they'll say, this skipped. And then we'll go play it on a very good turntable, and it won't skip, and then we find out later they're listening to it on a Crosley. If you ever buy a new LP from us and it skips, then you might want to upgrade your turntable. We sometimes will ask you, and we don't mean to be like, you know, some people will be like, why does that matter? They'll reply like, why does it matter what I'm listening to? Because I'll find out they're listening to it on a Crosley, and they're like, it skipped, or the needle won't stay on the record. I'm like, well, that's because you're listening to a $60 LP, a MoFi pressing, on a $20 turntable. So make sure you have proper equipment before you need to return something back. We may even ask you. I've seen some record shops post, we do not give returns if you're listening to this record on something that costs less than $50. So that's almost our policy. So make sure you have the proper equipment. All right, toolboxes. What was we selling those for? $80, $85? 80? I think $80. I think I've got 2 or 3 tool fear inoculum box sets. They're $80 or $85 if anybody wants. I don't have many left, and I'm never ordering them again. They're absolutely amazing. They're beautiful. They sound great. But I just had a, and I have to keep one for myself. Yes. So I think I've already done that. So I either have 2 or 3 left after that. Okay. Queen is sold to Fred Carnell for $45. Everything in here is buy it now, best offer, not before we put up. And then to Derek Hartman, let's see. I don't know. There was so much going on there for a second. Derek Hartman, I said $120 on that. You might have to remind me if you said yes or no. Let's see. What did... there was something else. James Bragg, I think, wants a toolbox set for sure. If anybody wants a toolbox, say tool sold. That's for fear inoculum, $80. Yes, you're getting one, James. We'll mark you down for one. That either leaves 1 or 2 left. Okay. Next auctions. Loudness Live. I'm continuing my price reduction blitz on Japanese pressings tonight. Loudness Live is just a $20 start. This is a 2 LP Japanese pressing of Loudness Live, Loudness in Tokyo. There's the Japanese insert. There are 2 LPs on Pristine Japanese vinyl. There's the cover. That's a $20 start. And then we have Bryan Adams and Tina Turner. Bryan Adams and Tina Turner. And that is, what do we have here? It's a single. It's Only Love live version and the Bryan Adams mix. I'll start that for $15. Bryan Adams and Tina Turner. Some kind of 2-track EP on that or 2-track maxi. $15 start on that. James Bragg wants a toolbox set. Next is Loudness 20, Loudness 20, Loudness 21, Loudness 22. Is this on white vinyl? This is not on white vinyl. This is not on white vinyl. This is not on white vinyl. So that's on black with the CD. Chiodos. These are all buy it now, best offer. We've shown these already. It's almost been 3 weeks ago. So before they kind of get deep into inventory, one more time. Chiodos Bone Palace Ballet on orange vinyl. That is from 2007, $79.99. Chiodos. SVIIB, School of 7, Face to Face on High Places, School of 7 Bells. School of 7 Bells. That is $14.99 from 2007. There's the Chiodos again. My bad. Got out of place there. High bid on Loudness is $22. Now $23 with Andy Wade. Steel Panther is a 2011 pressing, $174.99. Steel Panther balls out, $174.99. Riot Live, $24.99 for Riot Live. Crocus, 1 vice at a time. Crocus is $24.99. Judas Priest is $59.99, 1982 picture disc. 1982 picture disc, and this is called Screaming for Vengeance. Screaming for Vengeance, $59.99. Title in Limbo, The Residents. Title in Limbo is $39.99. Loudness 21, 22, 23, 24. Empire, I Was a Lonely Estate. That is $29.99. 2014 clear and blue vinyl, $29.99. Fingerprints, The Residents. Fingerprints is $29.99. That's a 1979 pressing. Fingerprints, The Residents, $29.99. And Better an Old Demon Than a New God. That is $34.99, 1984 USA. Sell Derek Hartman, Maria and the Diamonds for $115. Derek, you got it, $115. Ed Nelson wants Crocus and Riot. Crocus and Riot sold to Ed Nelson. Loudness is at $24 with Dwayne Sevilla going twice, going 3 times. Does anybody want this for $15? It's now a buy it now. Bryan Adams and Tina Turner. $15 if anybody wants that. Next Japanese pressing is the Carpenters live in Japan. The Carpenters live in Japan. This is a $20 start. It has a promo sticker on it. This is a 2LP live Carpenters album in Japan, which I think was a release unique only to Japan. There's the 2LPs. There is the gatefold, and it has a really cool booklet in the gatefold. Nice cover and obi. That's a $20 start. $20 start. Andy Wade's back in on loudness at 25. Dwayne's right back in at 26. Big Boys and the recorded live at Rawls Club. That is $199.99. 1980 USA, $199.99. The Insiders, Ghost on the Beach. The Insiders is $14.99. Gold stamp promo. And Jefferson Airplane, this is a music on vinyl pressing from the Murfreesboro collection. After Bathing at Baxter's, Jefferson Airplane, $24.99. Andy, you're back out on loudness. Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive, $14.99 for Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive. And Jewel, Pieces of You, $64.99. Jewel, Pieces of You, $64.99. Bear Sonic Journal, this is Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin. This is an RTI pressing. Live, 180 gram, 2LP, $39.99. If you want something, buy it. Don't be afraid to make an offer. Jay Giles Band, Showtime, in shrink wrap. We've hit a batch of leftover stuff from the Murfreesboro collection. Jay Giles Bloodshot. This is a repress on red vinyl. It's a repress, but that's also on red vinyl, $24.99. And Jay Giles Love Stinks. That is $14.99. Okay, loudness. Dwayne, I'm about to sell it. I'm waiting for Andy Wade to say in or out, but I've got to sell it because I've got more to get to. And 3, 2, that's sold to Dwayne Sevilla for $26. Does anybody want the Carpenters live in Japan? Let's sell this to somebody. The Carpenters live in Japan. $20 buy it now. Japanese press, 2LP with obi. Who wants it? $20 buy it now. The Carpenters live in Japan. Somebody make an offer on Bryan Adams and Tina Turner. No Japanese records left over tonight. No Japanese records left over tonight. Nicholas Elfrink on the Carpenters. That is sold to, or excuse me, Nicholas Elfrink on Jefferson Airplane. That's sold to Nicholas. And let's see here. Jay Giles Love Stinks. This is from the Murfreesboro collection. I'm pretty sure he opened this record new. It is pristine. Let's see. Carpenters. No, you can have it for $20. If you don't want it, then it's sold to Terrell and then Clint. So, but that is $20 if you want it. No, you can say sold. If not, Terrell gets it and then Clint in that order. Kansas, Song for America, $19.99. And Henry Paul Band, Gray Ghost, $14.99. Scott Corcoran on Love Stinks. We'll see who gets the Carpenters. I've already got it pulled. That's either going to be Nose or Terrell, it looks like. Next, Japanese auctions. We have, what do we have here? I don't know what this one is. WA Top Hits. Interesting. And White Nights. Let's do the White Nights soundtrack first. I'll start this one for just $15. The White Nights original motion picture soundtrack. $15 start on that. So Terrell got the Carpenters for $20. There's the Japanese lyric insert. There's another Japanese insert. And the White Knight soundtrack, $15 start. Stephen Bishop, Robert Plant, Roberta Flack, Lou Reed, Shaka Khan, John Haidt, David Foster. That's at $15 start. And WEA Top Hits, June 1986, Volume 35. This is also a $15 start. Tracks, I see Madonna, The Fix, Models, Fiona Gifraya, ZZ Top, Charlie Sexton, The Dream Academy, NXX, Matt Bianco, Colonel Adams, Patti LaBelle. I don't think I've ever put this one up before. That's a Japanese comp, $15 start on that as well. Let's see here. Chad, did you come across the Colonel Bruce Hampton albums from this collection? We sold one last night. Yes, I think we sold one last night, maybe two. How much was Jay Giles Live? That was Andy Wade, $14.99 in shrink wrap. Jewel was $64.99. $64.99. White Nights is at $20, and I'm looking for a $15 start on the WEA. Humble Pie Smoking, $19.99. T-Rex, 45th anniversary, faithfully replicated with poster cover, $24.99 for T-Rex. Richard Thompson, Across a Crowded Room. Richard Thompson's $14.99. Richard Thompson, 13 Rivers, $24.99. And the Scorpions, best 2, Japanese press with Obi. EX on the vinyl, $39.99. $39.99. Roger Ramjet, first to T-Rex. That's sold to Roger Ramjet. John Stevens is in on WEA at 15. Ed Nelson has White Knights for 20, going once, going twice. Jason Dobb, you're out on that one. Sell Andy Wade, the Jay Giles for $10. Greg Brummett on HP. HP was Humble Pie. Sell that to Greg Brummett. Ed Nelson, you were second to T-Rex. And let's see, Nigel Rocket, you were second on T-Rex. Trent Hobbs, Jewel, $50. I will say this for 55 bucks. 5.5, Trent Hobbs. How could you say no? I'm going to go ahead and even lay it in sold. Jason Dobb has White Knights for 25. Dwayne said Scorpions, $26.99. I'll do $35 on the Scorpions if you want that, Dwayne. $35. Final call on WEA for 15. Best of the Beat, greatest hits. Best of the Beat, 1989 Belgium press, VG Plus, $49.99. First album by Letter Nacken, VG copy, $14.99. Ultimate Battle Weapon Volume 2, DI Rectangle, is that what that said? 1988 EX copy, $39.99. Ultimate Battle Weapon Volume 1 by DJ Rectangle. That is a EX copy, $29.99 from 1998. Ed's out on White Knights. Jason Dobb has that for $25, going twice, going 3 times. Kyle Morgan, we already have a $15 bid on this. Kyle's back in at $18. Sell Dwayne the Scorpions for $32.99. That's sold to Dwayne Sevilla. And Kyle Morgan gets Brandon Jackson gets the Battle Weapon. Final call on the White Knights, though. Patty Smith Group, Easter, EX copy, $37.99. EX copy, $37.99. Patty Smith Group. The Ramones, End of the Century, a VG copy from Germany, $24.99 on the Ramones, End of the Century, a VG copy from Germany, $24.99. 3 o'clock, Ever After, or even, Ever After. That's a VG Plus, $9.99 from 1987. Ed Nelson on Patty Smith, that's sold to Ed Nelson. And Spasm 151, a VG Plus copy, $19.99 from 2001, a US press. Spasm 151. Justice League, Shattered Dreams, EX copy, $34.99. John Stevens is back in on the WEA sampler. We can go ahead and sell Jason Dobb, White Knights for $25. And let me grab our next Japanese pressing, which is Mick Jagger, She's the Boss, $20 start. Pristine copy in shrink wrap. This has the near mint Japanese LP with it. Looks absolutely beautiful. Has the inner sleeve with it with lyrics. It has a Japanese insert. And the cover is in shrink wrap with Obi. Mr. Mick is a $20 start. Kyle, you're back out on WEA. And Mike Massey got the Spasm. That's sold to Mike Massey. Any Trouble, Wheels in Motion. That is $14.99. Any Trouble, Wheels in Motion, $14.99. And The Call, Reconciled. The Call, Reconciled, $19.99. Next is the Tom Tom Club, Close to the Bone. That's a 1983 press, $29.99. I don't like saying that word. Tearing Nights, a 1978 German pressing, $19.99. Brandon Jackson says, please put back Battle Weapon. He thought it was metal. Now, I'm pretty sure that's a hip-hop record. So put that back for Brandon. WEA is sold to John Stevens for $20. Mick Jagger is a $20 start if anybody wants to know that. A Pristine Japanese pressing. Next is Linda Ronstadt, Prisoner in Disguise, $15 start. $15 start for Linda Ronstadt, Prisoner in Disguise. A perfect copy. There's the Japanese insert and really nice cover with Obi. This is pristine. That's a $15 start. Brent Hall wants The Call. Ultimate Battle Weapon is still available, $29.99. And Brent Hall wants The Call. That's sold to Brent Hall. Kevin's in on Linda at $15. The Untouchables, Wild Child, $19.99. Gold stamp promo. Does have some cover damage right there. That's $19.99. Andy Summers and Robert Fripp, Bewitched, $19.99. Andy Summers and Robert Fripp. Robert Fripp, Let the Power Fall, $24.99. And Robert Fripp, The League of Gentlemen, $29.99 from 1981. Except Russian Roulette, that's a 2012 pressing on red vinyl, $39.99. And Do It Yourself, Ian Deary and the Blockheads, Gold Stamp Promo, $19.99. Scott, you're first to Robert Fripp. Let me know which one you want. Kevin Willis gets the Linda Ronstadt. That's sold to Kevin for $15. If anybody wants Mick Jagger, first come, first serve, $20 buy it now for the Mick Jagger Pristine. She's the Boss, original studio album, Japanese press. You can buy that now for a $20 buy it now. I think I said 15 on this. Then I said 10. Who's going to buy the Bryan Adams and Tina Turner for $5? $5 buy it now. And Mick Jagger is a $20 buy it now. Scott Smith said he wants the first one. This one right here, that's the one Rob Scheffler asked about. That's sold to Scott Smith. But we still have the 2 solo albums. Phil Manzarek, Eno, and this is 801 Live, $19.99. And Ian Dury and the Blockheads Laughter, $19.99. He said no. Maybe he meant the first solo album. The first solo album. This one right here, Let the Power Fall. So, make sure I do that right. That goes to Scott Smith. Rob Scheffler, this one is called Bewitched. It's in shrink wrap. That's $19.99, Rob Scheffler. Debbie Blair gets the Bryan Adams for $5. That's sold to Debbie Blair. Jason was second. WV Mounties put BYR. That was probably for Brian. Courtney was third. Roger Ramjet wants League of, that was this one right here. This one, League of, hold on a second. That was, what is League of it? I have Justice League. Might have to clarify that one for me as well. 555, and Rob Scheffler says, I'll take it. Okay, so Brent, now there's only one Fripp album left, The League of Gentlemen. Actually, that may be what he's wanting. Roger Ramjet, he was first to that. This one right here. I think that's what Roger Ramjet's also claiming. Got it. Okay. Now we're caught up. So, Brent, all 3 of those already sold. The Scorpions is already sold. And we're going to sell Hendry, the Mick Jagger, for $17. Sold and sold. Next 2 Japanese records. We have Wham! Fantastic. Wham! Fantastic. $35 start. I think that's what we were selling some for the other night. This is Near Mint Pristine, Japanese vinyl. Wham! Fantastic. There's the LP. It includes this book with it. I don't know if too many have this with it. They might all do. I'm not real for sure. And then there's the cover with Obi in shrink wrap. That's a $35 start. Let me see if I got something else besides the Beatles. There's a Hollywood Bowl. We've already sold one of those. Let's see here. Let's do Wings Over America. Wings Over America, rock show. This is going to be just a $25 start. Wings Over America, rock show. There's 1 LP. They're all Near Mint Pristine. There's 2 LPs, 3 LPs. This has the poster with it. This has the poster with it. It has a Japanese booklet insert. It has 1, 2, all 3 original inner sleeves. This is a pristine top copy of Paul McCartney live, Wings Over America. How nice. If I were to read this track list, or when Craig posts it, you'll be like, I'm in. Like Band on the Run, and Live and Let Die, and Jet, and all of the other great songs that he's doing. I don't even have to read them off. Andy Wade's in at $25. That's a pristine, beautiful copy. And Wham! I'm looking for a $35 start. Except, I've already showed that. Where did I get to in here? Ian Deary, UK Subs, Occupied. That's a VG Plus, $44.99. UK Subs, Occupied. UK Squeeze. This is a 1978 white label promo on red vinyl. $24.99 on UK Squeeze, red vinyl, white label promo. Shock Horror, The Waves. That's Katrina and the Waves. That's sealed from 1983. $24.99. Wings. We have a $35 bid, now a $36 bid. Ian Deary, New Boots and Panties. $24.99 for Ian Deary. And Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. This is a 2013 picture disc. $99.99. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, a 2013 picture disc, $99.99. for Iron Maiden. Golden Palominos. Golden Palominos in shrink wrap, $19.99. Mike Massey wants Ian Dury boots. That's sold to Mike Massey. UB40. This is a Japanese pressing of The Earth Dies Screaming. That's a 1981 mini LP Japanese press, $34.99. John Stevens wants the Golden Palominos. That's sold to John Stevens. And we have Kiss Asylum. This is a 2014 180 gram, $24.99 for Kiss Asylum. 180 gram remaster. The Moody Blues Long Distance Voyager. That's 180 gram, $19.99. Moody Blues 7 Sojourn. That's also a 180 gram, $19.99. And we have Rycooter Borderline Rhino 180 gram, $19.99 for that. And Rachel Sweet Protect the Innocent. Rachel Sweet is $14.99. It's near mint, 1980 Terre Haute, $14.99. David Tate was first to Kiss. Patrick Carter, you were second. Final call on Wings. Andy Wade has that for $36. Andy Wade has that for $36. Final call. And if anybody wants Wham, it is a $35 buy it now. Wham Fantastic. Who wants it? Wham Fantastic is a $35 buy it now. Brent Rabley says $35 on UK subs. Sell that to Brent Rabley for $35. I'm putting Paul McCartney right over here. I'm about to sell it. Was the Iron Maiden one of the 8 collectible picture discs? You know, I really don't know. All I have is 2013 picture disc. That's the only information I have. Jeff said he'd give $30 for both Moody's. Sold to Jeff Malwitz, $30 for both of those. Delaney and Bonnie, this is a Rhino Vinyl RTI pressing with Eric Clapton, $24.99. And Jim Petterick, Don't Fight the Feeling, $9.99. John Ambrosix in on Wings at $36. And I've got, man. Somebody needs to highly consider this. We have the Obi with it. It does have the Obi. It's not detached. Well, I guess it is detached, but they never stay on these box sets. They always come off because you have to open them, and you know it's pretty much like a seal. So as you see, I think you could technically fold it over. You could get it on there like if you wanted to display it. So it does have the Obi with it. Wings was already at 36. Wings was already at 36. So Andy Wade still has it for 36. John Ambrosic, you're out. John Ambrosic, you're out. But what I've got here is a George Harrison All Things Must Pass. First, the box still has the tape insert. This is a different box than the U.S. pressing. It does have some foxing on the front, but this is a thicker, sturdier box. It does have the Japanese insert, and I'm pretty sure, let's show all the contents. I'll just go ahead and tell you, this is a $95 start. $95 start. So you can say it's complete with Obi. It is complete with Obi. So there's the box set. Let me show you the guts of it. There's the Japanese insert. You have 3 Japanese LPs. These are near mint and pristine. Those are near mint and pristine, and it has the George Harrison poster with it. And this is looks like a higher quality than the ones that were pressed here in the States. Just very, very nice. And then the 3 original inner sleeves. What an amazing album. I'd Have You Anytime. That was wrote by Harrison and Bob Dylan. My Sweet Lord, Wah Wah, Isn't It a Pity? What Is Life If Not For You, which is, I think, one of the best on the album, which is a Bob Dylan song. Behind the Locked Door, Let It Down, Run to the Mill. I can't tell you how many times I have listened to this album. It's one of the greatest. And there's the Obi. Very cool. That is now up for bid. It is complete with Obi. Overall, EX Plus to near mint minus. Let's see. So I had a couple offers. We sold the Moody Blues. Mark Pfeiffer said he'd give $20 for the Ramones. Let me find that. That sold to Mark Pfeiffer for $20. Troy offered $115 for the Maiden and the Judas Priest picture disc. $115. I'm at $160 I'm at $160. I'll save both of those for $130. $130, Troy, for the Maiden and the Priest. $130. That's this one and this one and this one. $130. Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. I'll lay that over here in pending. Next comment was Wings 37, George Harrison 95, Wings 37, George Harrison 105, Wings 38. Mike said he'd give 55 for the Fillmore box set if it's still around. Give me 1 second on that. Do you still have any loose vinyls on your shelf for All Things Must Pass? I think so. Let me know which disc you need. George Harrison 115, another 115, and Troy said sold. That's both of these picture discs for $130 to Troy Schwark. I still got some stuff in here I hadn't shown yet. The high bid on George Harrison right now is Roger Ramjet at $115. And then, back to the Wings, Andy Wade has this for $38. John Ambrosic, you're out, $38. Going twice, going 3 times. Going twice, going 3 times. And then the Fillmore box set, Mike Langford, I will sell that to you for $65. $65. Just say yes. It's that easy. George Harrison's at $120 with Ed Nelson. Let me know if you're in or out on the Wings. Jim, we've already showed that, and I think I have 2 more records left in here. We have Poi Dog Pondering. Poi Dog Pondering is $29.99, and this was an OG from 1990, $29.99. Tony Levin, John Petrucci, Mike Portnoy, and Jordan Rudis. That is Liquid Tension Experiment, $34.99, and this is on a really cool splatter vinyl. Really cool splatter vinyl. It is, the catalog number is AP-9016C. AP-9016C. Write down Mike Langford Fillmore box, $65. I will have to find that. It's somewhere close. It's right there. I see it. It's in that blue crate on the bottom. We will pull that tonight. I've got it. All right, John's out on Wings. That's sold to Andy Wade for $38. Andy Wade gets the deal on the Wings at $38. High bid on George Harrison is Ed Nelson at $120. Going once, going twice. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. There were some good records in there. Let me read through those titles very quickly one more time. Not before I put up a Beatles record. We're going to reduce some and get them sold. This one has some cover damage to it, and because of that, I'm going to start it really low. It's not really cover damage. I guess it is, but these foil covers, sometimes they get like this. They kind of start to, I don't know what you call that. They're not really peeling. It's like it wasn't pressed well or manufactured well. Just a $20 start on this. 2-0. The Beatles Rock and Roll Music. The Beatles Rock and Roll Music. It's more prevalent in the gatefold. It's a foil cover. This is a Beatles comp, 2 LP. There's the cover. There's the 2 black original inner sleeves, and the LPs are near mint and pristine. This is a Japanese pressing of the Beatles Rock and Roll Music. This is the UK flag series. UK flag series number 29, $20 start on the Beatles. Roger Ramjet is at $125 on George Harrison. Ed Nelson's now at $130. The Liquid Tension is $34.99. Liquid Tension Experiment. Tony Levin. Jody, that's $34, and then Angela, it's $34. I'll just leave that out. I have a feeling one of them's about to buy it. $20 start on the Beatles, Brian Liggins in. Not a bad price considering the vinyl is mint and pristine. Just that little problem with the cover. If that was completely perfect, I wouldn't consider starting that any less than probably $55. So take advantage. Here's what's left in this bin. Chiodos, if you want prices, let me know. 7 Bells, School of 7 Bells. Steel Panther, that was an OG. Title and Limbo, Empire. The Residents, Better an Old Demon Than a New God. Big Boys and Somebody Else. Insiders, Joe Jackson. Janis Joplin with Big Brother and the Holding Company. Jody said he'll take it. Angela, he had inquired about that first. I have to sell that to him first. That's sold to Jody Ruffner. Jay Giles Bloodshot, that's on colored vinyl. Kansas Song for America. Henry Paul Band. Richard Thompson. Let's wrap up George Harrison. Roger Ramjet, let me know if you're in or out, please. I'm waiting for you to say in or out. You can bid again or you can say out. Ed Nelson's at $130. Ed Nelson's at $130 on that. Best of the Beat, Greatest Hits, Letter Knackin', first album, 3 O'Clock, Justice League, Shattered Dreams, Any Trouble, Wheels in Motion, Tom Tom Club, Tearing Knights, Ultimate Battle Weapon, Joe Jackson Prize. Joe Jackson Jumpin' Jive is $14.99. Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive is $14.99. Brandon Jackson, this album right here is $19.99. It's a 1978 German pressing, $19.99. James Bragg Wants Kansas, Song for America. That's sold to James Bragg. George Harrison is sold to Ed Nelson for $130. That's sold for $130. Brandon Jackson's also sold on this one. Brandon Jackson sold on that one. George Harrison is sold. Track list on the Beatles. Sure, it will definitely cause probably the bid to increase. Twist and Shout. I Saw Her Standing There. You Can't Do That. I Want to Be Your Man. I'll Call Your Name. Boys, Long Tall Sally. That was side 1. Rock and Roll Music. Slow Down. Kansas City. Money. Bad Boy. Matchbox. And Roll Over Beethoven. Dizzy Miss Lissy. Anytime at All. Drive My Car. Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. The Night Before. I'm Down and Revolution. And then some of their later stuff. Back in the USSR. Helter Skelter. Taxman. Got to Get You Into My Life. Hey Bulldog, Birthday, and Get Back. High bid on that is Brian Ligon for $20. That's going once, going twice. Bloodshot. I will say the red vinyl Bloodshot. I think, did you mean 8 or 18? If you meant 18, sold, because that's what I was about to say. But it's on red vinyl, and that's a new remastered, limited edition red vinyl remaster. Or repress. One of the two. 18 on that. Who asked about Joe Jackson? Did anybody say sold on that? Nick Todd. By the way, these are buy it now best offer. So throw something out there. John Ambrosics at 22 on the Beatles. The Untouchables Wild Child, $19.99. Accept is $39.99. And Do It Yourself, Enduring the Blockheads, $19.99. Phil Manzara Eno 801 Live, $19.99. Enduring the Blockheads Laughter, $19.99. UK Squeeze, that's red vinyl, white label promo, $24.99. Beatles, 21, 22, 23, 15 for Old Demon. Let me figure out what that one was. This one right here. Fred, I can't do that. Richard Hale. Jim Carroll. I'll sell this for $25. You're the only one that's inquired about it. I'll sell that for $25. Mike Mass said Ian Laughter. Sell him that for $15. So high bid on the Beatles is at $25. And what else do I have? Is this one called Meet? Yeah, Meet the Beatles. Okay, if you want to bid on this one, please put Meet. Since we got 2 Beatles auctions up now, don't bid on this and put Beatles. Put Meet, as in Meet the Beatles. M-E-E-T. $25 start. $25 start on Meet the Beatles. This is a beautiful copy on Apple. $25 start. There's the Japanese insert. There's the original inner sleeve. The cover and the back side of the obi does have some aging on it. Kind of got some tint to it there. Not really all that bad, especially for a $25 start. $25 start on Meet the Beatles. So this auction right here is Beatles Rock and Roll Music. High bid on that is $27. I'm looking for a $25 start on the other one. How much was Big Brother? The Big Brother live is $39.99. Clint wants to know the tracks on Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive. That is Jumpin' with Symphony Sid, Jack, You're Dead. Actually, Craig just replied to you. Sorry. I guess Craig is still watching. Shock and Horror, Katrina and the Waves. That's a 1983 UK, $24.99. UB40 is $34.99, 1981. Rycooter Borderline is $19.99. Rachel Sweet, Protect the Innocent. That was $14.99. Delaney and Bonnie and Friends on Tour, $24.99. Poi Dog Pondering and Jim Peterick is $9.99. And Poi Dog was $29.99. Okay, so Nigel's at $29 on Meet the Beatles, and John's at $27 on this one. Final call for both of them. Final call for both of them. The Old Demon price, I told somebody just a moment ago, it's $34.99. I would do $25 on it, though. I would do $25 on that one. Anybody else? How are we done tonight, Tanner? Tanner says we've sold a few records. We're just getting started, too. We're just getting started. Okay, I'm about to end these two auctions. Has Nigel Rocket bought from us before? Nigel, I'm going to sell this to you for $29. If you are a first-time buyer, we're going to send you instructions on how we're going to invoice you, which we need a message. We're going to send you a link to our website. Unless you have a Facebook, let me know. This is sold to you for $29, and then we're going to send you those instructions. We will invoice you on Monday, $7 in limited shipping. John Ambrosic gets this Beatles for $27. Those are sold $29.27. Brent Rabley said he'd do $25 on this. Fred says he passes, so sell that to Brent for $25. And Jim Peterick is not a single. No, that's a full album, $9.99, gold stamp promo. I have not shown anything new from the Murfreesboro collection because I don't have anything ready. I knew I was going to go back through some of this stuff. And here's what we're going to do for part 2. We're going to be back at 11 o'clock. I'm going to show a few more things before we sign off, so don't get off yet. But I'm about to end the feed, just so before anybody starts leaving. 11 o'clock is when we're going to come back for part 2. It's Friday night. We'll probably go until midnight or after. We'll go back through half off vintage. I repeat, 50% off vintage for part 2. We'll probably recap some new vinyl. And I've got more Japanese auctions. I have sold a lot, but there's a lot more I'm going to get to. I think I've got a whole nother crate in the back of stuff for us to go back through a second time. So we're going to do the same thing. Low $20 starts, $15 starts, and hopefully we can sell that entire other crate I've got in the back. And then lots of half-off vintage. Sell Grant Jim for $7.99. Wham! Brian, I will sell that to you for $30. I don't think I've ever sold one of those less than $30. I just sold a bunch last week for $34.99. I will sell that to you for $30. Wham UK. Keep in mind, this is a Japanese pressing, complete near mint with obi and book. How could Brian say no? Sell that to Brian for $30. And, yeah, let me go ahead and stop so I can go get food and I can go ahead and have records ready for part 2 at 11 o'clock because I've got to go crate some stuff up in the back. I'll hand pick some stuff that I know y'all will definitely buy at half off. So let's go ahead and stop now. We'll be back at 11 o'clock Central Time. We will make sure that's 11 o'clock sharp. Right, Tanner? We won't start at 11:05. We'll be back at 11 o'clock. And Brian said okay for Wham at 30. I'll have half off vintage, more Japanese clearance, and I've got a whole entire crate of Beatles. Most of it will be other stuff, but I will definitely start reducing some of the Beatles. I've got those red 62 to 66 albums. I'm going to make a big, I've got 7 of them. Who wants them for X price? So, okay, so everybody at 11 o'clock. We'll be back then.